Buonasera, buongiorno, buona mattina, e buonanotte for everybody around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, today we start our live May 25th, 2021. Serie A is over, and now we can finally chill out, relax, enjoy the summer. All the weight of the season is off our shoulders now. Finally, we can be happy in the anticipation of seeing our beloved team perform in the greatest stage of all, the Champions League, where we have built our history. It's going to be quite interesting this summer. A lot of news already coming out. As many of you know, we're about to face some maybe difficult news for some. For some, it could be good. For some, it could be a relief. For others, it could be sad. But already, the next day, right after the Serie A is over, or rather 2 days later after the Serie A is over, and boom, we already have transfer news market. So we'll get into that, guys. We'll discuss Pioli, his season. We'll discuss a little bit about the Serie A, and we'll discuss about the Loanees. Then, guys, I want to open up the lines and hear what you guys got to say about this this incredible season, and already all this information coming out regarding the transfer market. So it looks like, after all, I am going to be forced to deal with this damn transfer market. I think it's it kind of sucks because I hate doing that, but I will be forced. All right, let me see who's here. Carlo Moretti, ciao amico, forza diavolo. Donnarumma, un cazzo di mercenario. Donnarumma, a freaking mercenary. That's Forza Mike Mangian. Yes, so it looks like Mangian is the one that is coming. Belko Vasic, what's up, my friend? Forza lotta vincerai, non ti lasceremo mai. Yes, sir. Ayan. Yes, sir. Solo I colori e solo la maglia. Jan, what's up, my friend? I'll get you in. Jelko Vasic, he kind of does, but he celebrates everything and was clutch all season. Manyan, yes, guys. Saif, what's up? What's up, everybody? DOA. All right, guys, so let's start with this. I'm going to start with Pioli. And since we are going to start with Pioli, I'm going to bring in my good friend Jan, because he has been super Pioli in this whole season, while many of us have been Pioli half in, half out. Some of us have been completely Pioli out. I have always been in the middle, somewhere in the middle. But right now, he's definitely Pioli in. All right, let's see if Jan is available to join us. And what a perfect person to talk about Pioli in. What a perfect person to talk about Pioli in. I'm sure he's going to shove it in our faces on how he was right and we were all wrong. So let's get to hear Jan if he is available. But in the meantime, guys, I do have these stats here I want to show you, just regarding the Serie A before we get started in our topics. So since the Serie A is over, now we have il bollettino finale. That's what we call it. The final results of all the statistics, so we can see which players shined and which players maybe should have shined and which players didn't shine. Let's see. So let's start with top goal scorers. So, guys, top goal scorers of the Serie A. We have Cristiano Ronaldo finishing with 29 goals, 33 games. Let me know if you guys think if Cristiano Ronaldo is going to stay in the Serie A or he's leaving. What do you guys think? Do you think he's staying now that Champions League is official for Juventus? Romelu Lukaku, 24th. Romelu Lukaku, arguably the best player in the Serie A. He gets 24 goals out of 36 games. Luis Muriel, Dusan Vlahovic, the youngster that Milan is very interested in, finishes 4th. Ciro Immobile 5th, will finish at 5. And the first Milanista to be in this table is Zlatan Ibrahimovic with 15 goals out of 19 games. I mean, 19 games is kind of poor. It is a shame that we only got to see Ibrahimovic for 19 games. Mr. Jan.
Pioli's on fire. La, 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 la. Hello, Roy.
Hey, what's up, Jan? How you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good. Can you hear me all right?
How's that? Yeah, yes. Jan, so I'm pretty sure you're very happy regarding the Serie A. I mean, we're all happy we got into the Champions League.
Yeah,
great season. Maybe one of the best seasons that I've seen in decades. Actually, this is my favorite season since the 1999 season and also the 96 season. This one is in the top 3 for sure.
Wow.
How are you feeling?
Oh, over the moon, my friend. Over the moon. I said we just needed a bit of patience. I said that we're going to be over the line. We did it, and we finished second in what's a fantastic season. And now when you look back on it and you reflect, if it's easy for now some people to say, I guess, but if you look back, if someone had said to you in September everything that had happened and Milan had finished second on 79 points, many people would have laughed, but they'd have been like, yeah, we'll bite your hand off. So, fantastic season.
I wouldn't have left. I'm letting you know right now. I wouldn't have left. I would have said, yeah, I agree. For sure. I definitely expected Milan to finish in the top 4, and I'm very happy they did. And in a certain way, they did exceed a lot of our expectations.
Yeah,
I finished in second. I wouldn't have expected they finished second, but I was expecting the top 4 finish.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I mean. I were expecting 4th or 5th, I'm not going to lie. So to expect to finish second, that's what I mean at the start of the season. Anyone had a bit their hand off at it. 79 points, 12 behind Inter. Still a bit of closing up to do really in terms of challenging, but look, fantastic season at the end of the day, and we've done it. We're in the Champions League season. We've got that Uomo Di Merda out of the club, hopefully. So
who's that?
Donnarumma, let him go. Let him fuck off, and I'm happy.
All right, so let's do this. We are going to talk about Donnarumma, of course. Of course, we're going to be talking about Donnarumma, but now we're going to I'm just going to finish. We're just going to finish reading off some of these stats here of the Serie A. Let me know also what you think about certain of these players, because I think it's very interesting. And then we're going to go into Pioli. We're going to have a nice discussion about Pioli, since you have been one of the most positive people out there speaking about Pioli. I'm very curious to hear what you've got to say. Yeah. And then we're going to be talking about Donnarumma, the Loanees, and then we're going to open up the lines. It's going to be a very, very interesting stream today.
I've actually probably got 5 minutes, and then I've got to nip out. I just wanted to quickly jump on and just deliberate.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's jump into Pioli right away. So I'll go first, since I've been more on the fence about Pioli. So, of course, Pioli, in my opinion, deserves to stay. He deserves to play in the Champions League. He earned his keep. Finishing second was, you could argue he overachieved. I did think that Juventus should have finished higher than Milan if I were to see the rosters in the beginning of the season, but I was 100% sure that Milan should have finished top 4. And if he didn't finish in the top 4, to me, this season would have been a huge failure. But instead, the guy finished second, proving his daughters once again. He had a lot of difficulties during the season with certain players being injured. He made some clear mistakes during the season that definitely got me on the fence about him. But he definitely got the result when we needed it the most. Unfortunately, you can't really say that for Manchester United, but that game against Juventus was such a clutch game. That was such a key game against such a huge opponent. And getting the tactics right against Juventus and just demolishing Juventus was one of the best feelings of this whole season. And that was a whole Pioli there was the number one catalyst for that game because of how he changed the system, how he used Diaz, how he completely recreated the formula. And that game was key. Then, of course, the Cagliari game was a complete failure, in my opinion. I don't blame only him, but he definitely made a lot of mistakes there. But then against Atalanta, with Rebic out, Ibra out, forced to play Leao as the striker, he had to kind of make some adjustments. He got those adjustments correct, and there you have it. He finishes second into the Champions League, shushing all his doubters. Now he deserves another year at Milan. His objectives are going to be much higher right now because next year he has to finish in the top 4 because the Champions League is obviously not a guarantee, and he has to do well in the Champions League. So for me, Pioli in. See you next season, Pioli. I'm looking forward to it. Jan, take it.
So where do I begin? I'd like to see all the comments. I'd like to see some apologies about being a Pioli out. No, I'm only joking. Everyone's got their own entitled to their own opinion. I think personally the objective for next season there is only one, and it's re-qualifying for the top 4. Anything other than that is a disaster. But I'm not, like I've said before, I'm not going to be too bothered if we go out in the group stage. I'll be disappointed, but it's not the be-all and end-all for me next year. The most important thing is the continuity of being in the Champions League. You look where Inter got to; they fell out of the Champions League, and then they went to a Europa League final. This year, they fell out of the Champions League, but they won the league. So going far in the Champions League right now isn't the big thing for me. It's just being in it every year and getting the revenue correct. Regarding the Cagliari game, I said before, there's only small blame on Pioli, the players let him down, but I'm also kind of glad the Cagliari game happened because it made all the players feel so small. It made them feel dead inside, and then they came out fighting against Atalanta, which, again, a perfect game. I thought Leao played brilliantly up top. He just did a job that he's not used to doing in terms of hold-up play, winning headers for the flick-ons. He's normally a person playing in behind and trying to get onto it. So, yeah, he's been fantastic. He's learned from all his mistakes. For the first time since the 60s, we've beaten every single Serie A team in a league season. You know, we've finished on 79 points. We've had this fantastic away record, albeit the home one isn't great, but a fantastic away record and always some average players. And if we can now turn this season's form and his adaptability and keep the squad and add a couple of key players, we're going to go far. But like me and Larry said, if he gets back to this summer, and it's a big if he does get back, if he gets given the same squad with one or two new players that aren't still top quality, then they're setting him up to fail. But if he does get backed and he gets given like a Rodrigo De Paul, a Vlahovic, Belotti, Berardi, players like that, he'll come under scrutiny a lot quicker. And I'll be the first person to say, whoa, this season could turn into a disaster. Get him out in early on in the season, especially if he's been backed. But if he hasn't, then he's just been set up to fail, really.
I mean, you have to imagine they are going to back him. I mean, so Maldini had this brilliant interview, by the way, right after the game. I hope if you can watch it and have the subtitles on for the English speakers, he says it pretty clear. Like right now, the objective for the future is staying in the Champions League for the next decade, pretty much. But that's kind of what he said. And he said that this team is very special, and saying this is the youngest team in Serie A, and he really feels that this team is really special. And I think the whole management, everybody that is running AC Milan feels that this team is very special. And I really have a feeling that they're not going to mess this up. They're going to keep on going strong. Champions League is next. That's where we're headed, and that's what we want to win. And I think they're going to build from now on a team to win the Champions League. I mean, if they don't, it's going to be chaos. Like if they don't, this season is going to be pointless. So yeah, I have a lot of faith.
We've said it before. Like, you're very confident that we'll go far. Personally, I'm not yet. I think next season we should challenge more for the title. I'd like to finish, instead of 12 points, maybe 6 or 7 behind, or even win it. But I'd like to challenge more. A bit of silverware would be nice. I think it's about time we actually won a Coppa Italia and go for it, and have some silverware to actually make this team stand out, because it's all good and well finishing, in the top 4 every year. But if there's no silverware, this team won't be remembered, and it is a special team. So I think the next step for me is either the Scudetto or the Coppa, staying in the top 4, and then in 2-3 years, then we should start thinking about challenging for the Champions League. Realistically, challenging for the Champions League.
Yes. My predictions for next season is, as far as the Scudetto goes, I think that when Milan is in the Champions League, they have the obligation to try and win the Scudetto. So I think Milan will be a serious contender for the Scudetto next season. Of course, if the transfer market goes the way it should go. So Milan will be a Scudetto contender. As far as Champions League, I have so much faith in this team. To me, this team is so special, and from what I'm seeing, I think this team is going to go far into the Champions League. It's going to go deep. All right, guys. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. Everybody got kicked out. I lost all the comments. It is what it is. But we were, right? Everything will be back, guys. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. It is what it is. Hope you guys can hear me fine. We'll get back. We'll get Jan back in a second, and all that good stuff. Thank you, Mr. Ricky. So, okay, as things get going, and we get back into the stream, let's see what you guys. Hey, what's up? What's up? Roy Internet been acting like Gigi. Like, yeah, man, it is truly unbearable. I definitely have to do something about it, for sure. Roy, have you watched Crudeli's reaction to the Atalanta match? Have I? I don't think so. Crudeli is definitely an interesting character, one of the most passionate Milan commentators that exist. Tick size, we can hear you. Ciao, Eastbourne. All right, guys. So I'll just continue what we were saying there regarding. I believe we were talking about next season, the objectives for next season. The objectives for next season, which I think Milan is going to be fighting for the Scudetto. I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, I think that's just going to come natural. I don't think that we will have to wait too many years before Milan starts winning the silverware, or at least realistically getting very close to the silverware. I don't think it's going to be too many years. And the reason why I say that is because I look at the other teams, I look at Milan, and we're not really that far, guys. We're really not that far. We just need a few players here and there. We don't need to revamp the whole team. We have the team, we have the core. It's just a few players here and there, and then the players that we already have are going to grow. And then these players that are going to grow, for me, are 100% sure destined to become champions. Now, hopefully, the destiny is in their hands, and they are the ones that got to make it happen. What a great day for Milan fans. Yes, sir. Get rid of all the greedy snakes and then wait first. Yes, I think at this point I do agree with you. Seriously, Rory, please do something about your connection. Yeah, it's not funny to me too. It sucks, guys. I know. I gotta do something there for sure. I gotta get it fixed. Do you think Mañan is a good signing? Do I think Mañan is a good signing? Well, okay. Let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. Mañan was deemed the best goalkeeper of the French league this season, and he won the championship with Lille. So that already tells me that this guy is good. And from what I'm reading, he's also battling out with Loanees for the first team player in the French national squad. So you have to imagine that this player is a very good player. I know he was at PSG when he was younger, so he has made his rounds through all the big teams. Well, the big teams, some of the biggest team in France. Then he won this league. You have to imagine he's a good player. You just have to imagine he's a good player. You can't really say he isn't. Okay, let's talk about Donnarumma. Let's get into this Donnarumma situation. So I have to admit, when I saw the news, I was very surprised. I was not expecting that. I really, maybe in my heart, hoped that Donnarumma would stay in Milan forever and just completely, finish his career in Milan. That was my hope. Maybe that was my dream. Maybe today these kind of dreams are unrealistic because I'm latching on to this bygone era in which we had these players like Maldini, like Costa Curta, Baresi, Gattuso, Tassotti, all these players that stayed with Milan for such a long time. And there are more players. I'm just kind of blanking right now. But it kind of feels like Donnarumma is not going to be part of that club of players. And to me, it's a shame because it would have been such an amazing story with Donnarumma, which, yeah, he was bought from Napoli, but he joined at a very young age, and he played from a very young age in the academy and then all the way up into... I like this comment, Ricky. I agree with you. That bygone era is how it should be, Roy. Yes, definitely. So it's a sad story, but at this point, I think we can all say that for sure he is out, because there's no way they're going to buy. There's no way Mañan is going to be on the bench. I mean, if you have Donnarumma and Mañan as your first and second team, second goalkeeper, or vice versa, that means that the rest of the team has to be like that. That means that you need to have Ibra and I don't know. Just to give an example, Ibra and Benzema, Kessie and Cruz, So obviously we have to imagine that Donnarumma is out. I think I know where he's going. I think all the indications lead to one spot, and it has been something that has been going around for many years now. Actually, a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, it was said in the newspapers, etc., that Donnarumma had already found a deal with Juventus and that deal was imminent. Now, with the fact that his brother has already signed for Juventus, you can imagine that is where he is going. PSG is the other contender. You got Leonardo over there. Leonardo was also key in Donnarumma's career, in the beginning of his career. So I'm pretty sure Leonardo is also a contender there with PSG. But if I were to make a bet today, I would say he's going to Juventus. And what is that going to feel like? What is that going to feel like watching Donnarumma in a Juventus shirt? Okay, so let's see what you guys think. All right. So Magnan, 21 clean sheets, the most in the top 5 leagues. Wow. Okay, that's a great stat. Davide Calabria is the best right back in Italy, and no fucking call out. I'm a Brazil fan, will not be supporting Italy. I agree with you. I mean, how is Calabria not even in the reserve list, right? Because okay, so I thought okay, so it has to be that he is playing in the under 21, but he's not even there. He's not even in the under 21s. He's just staying home for the holidays. Well, which is no good. I want him to perform in the Euros. I want him to gain the experience. He deserves it. Financially speaking, Mike is a fantastic signing. I mean, we are saving nearly 80 million without Gigio. Yes, that is true. And that is something that I wanted to show you guys. Maybe it's much more than 50 million. When do you disconnect? However, please encourage whoever is with you to interact with the chat. So it's not awkward. Got you. Got you, Ken. Absolutely livid with Gigio. He could be Mr. 1K Milanese, yet he picked money over legacy. Now, guys, I have a question for you. This is maybe a philosophical question. Maybe it's more got to do with human nature, our existence on this planet, and you know what drives us as humans. You know, this is how I feel honestly, and I know I'm gonna piss a few people off. All right, I already know I'm gonna piss a few people off, but I'm not angry with Donnarumma. I'm disappointed. I'm not angry with him. I'm just disappointed. Because if Donnarumma's main motivation to play football is money, you know, I mean, and we're talking about huge sums of money. Like if you're making because Milan wanted to offer him 8 million a season. I mean, if you're making 8 million a season being a goalkeeper, I mean, how much more do you fucking need, seriously? But if his motivation is like, hey, look, I am this goalkeeper and these clubs are offering me 12 million, 10 million, and you know, I want to play I want to play as a goalkeeper for the next 15 years and then set up my life being this multi-millionaire. You know, I want to just try to extract as much money as I can in my career because, you know, being a soccer player, you only have a certain window in your life in which you can work. So I don't blame him for exploiting himself and exploiting Raiola. And if he wants to play for money, then sure, play for money, be that player. But it does come with a cost. It does come with a cost. You lose your status as a legend. You lose your status as a great. You lose your status as this hero for the kids. You just become a soulless person that, you know, that doesn't fight for the colors of this team, but rather fights for the colors of the paper that is in his wallet. And that is unfortunate. It's unfortunate because he's choosing that path, and that path is going to hurt his reputation, but who cares? He doesn't care about his reputation when he's got stacks of cash in the bank account. So, you know, that's the way it is. And unfortunately, as I said, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed because I think Donnarumma should have put his career first. And in the long run, it would have served him better. In the long run, it would have served him better. But instead, you know, it is what it is. So let's see what you guys think. I'm sure some of you guys probably do not. I'm very curious to see what you guys say. Okay, same shit is happening in the NBA. One more reason to hate you. And there's so many. Throw money at him every match. Yeah. Remember Donnarumma? Can't wait for Plizzari and Giacomo Ozzer to join the first team along with the young El Hali. Okay, so the youngsters, yeah, the youngsters are doing good. Can't wait till he goes back to Bizancino. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Juve Stabia Lanz want to play for more famous. Juve, okay, fine, what else? You can't expect loyalty anymore from youth these days. Let's be honest. Only few which you can expect. Fofana renews with Saint-Étienne so they can get some money for his transfer when he joins Leicester. I mean, yeah, you can't really expect this kind of loyalty anymore, but it's still there. I mean,
Like, let's look at Calabria. Calabria is an example of a player that, you know, when he was asked, he had a contract renewal during the season, and he literally said, I don't want more money than what I'm making. Now, I could be wrong about this. But I don't think I am. He said, no, I'm happy with my contract. I want to keep on going and then deserve more in the future. I mean, you see, this person here is setting himself up for legendary status. You know, that's the difference. He's setting himself up for the legendary status. And when his career is over, if he does well, people will love him. Everybody will respect him. It's going to be, you know, but hey, Donnarumma is the one that is going to be showing up in a Lamborghini for every dinner they have, while Calabria is going to be showing up in an Audi. I'm so mad that Tomori got snubbed from England. That is strange, too. Good. I'm actually happy about that. Because to me, even the fact that Teo has been snubbed, and maybe to a certain extent, Calabria, not so much for Calabria, to be honest, but these players, it's better that they don't see them. It's better that our opponents, our future opponents, don't see these players. It's better for us. We're acting like a big club again. A Champions League club, tears in my eyes. Che emozione. This is one for the books, Milanisti. Forza Milan, that's a beautiful message. I'm not even mad anymore. I'm actually happy. Yeah, you can definitely argue that it is a relief because, man, these freaking what you call them? These freaking reports all year, constantly, all year about Donnarumma were a pain in the ass. And imagine going through that shit again and again and again. Like, at this point, it's like, I don't want to deal with it. You know? None of you guys want to. Like, we don't want to deal with it. We, the fans, we want to enjoy the game. We want to enjoy the football. We want to enjoy that camaraderie between us and the team. You know, that's what we want to enjoy. I don't want to fucking listen to Donnarumma this, Donnarumma that every time in between games. So in a certain way, yeah, you can say a big relief. It's a big weight off of our shoulders. Gigi would have disappointed us less if he could have moved to PSG or somewhere in EPL. But what you do with like this is backstab. Yeah. Me too, Amangu too, but Ben Godfrey is good as well. Garrett, I'm not sure. I think those are England players. So Romagnoli is the other. I am going to say this, guys, and I didn't. This is an opinion that has just come to me recently. Okay, this is not a new opinion. This is a very new opinion that has formed in my mind. I don't want to have Raiola anymore in the picture. So let's get rid of Romagnoli too. I want to get rid of Romagnoli. I want them to get rid of all the Raiola players. And if Haaland is going to be a Raiola player forever, I don't even want Haaland in the team. I don't want any of these players that will not show love to the colors, because that is the most important thing. That is the most important thing. It's the love of the colors. It's the badge. I mean, Donnarumma, what is he going to do? If he goes to Juve, what is he going to do? What is he going to say? Donnarumma has already told the world that he's been a Milanista all his life. So when he goes to Juve, what are his motivations? He's going to lie, right? Is he going to kiss the badge of Juventus? All the Juventini are going to see that's fake. We are all going to see that's fake. Raiola is the worst fucking human being in the world of soccer. I don't want any players accosted to this man. This man has absolutely he does not understand the importance of loving the colors of your shirt. He doesn't understand that. This guy is all business. It's all money, 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 money. And again, it's okay. You can do that. It's your free will. It's your freedom to do that. You can do that. But I just don't want to deal with it. I just don't want to have you associated with the club I love, because I can't stand it. It's annoying as fuck. It is annoying as fuck. All right, let's read more here. He really wasn't that great anyway. Well, okay. I mean, that is not true. I hear what you're saying, bro. At the end of the day, football is a job and money talks. I still think he's a piece of shit. Though if he goes to Juve, he's a bigger pet. Yeah. He can say he was a Milanista all he wants, but no person who loves a team would do this. He has not and never will be one of us. I mean, he's setting himself up for exactly for this kind of contentious relationship. Oh shit. Okay. All right, now this is a really good topic, Youssef. Youssef, this is a really, really, really good topic. I hope this doesn't happen to Kessie. And guys, and this is what I was saying. This is what I was saying on Sunday. Milan's priority right now should not be Tomori, Diaz, a new striker, a new right winger. Milan's priority is to renew Kessie's contract right away. Because Kessie right now makes what, 3.5 million? If they are going to keep this stupid policy, well, now they have the leverage. And I think I don't know if I don't know, whatever. I can't remember if I spoke to if it was actually you, but they need to sign Kessie right away and end this. Now you're in the Champions League. Now you have to end your policy of waiting until the end of the contract to figure out what's going on. You have to put your foot down, Milan, Maldini, etc. You guys have to put your foot down now. We cannot let Kessie get to the end of the contract because Kessie, Man City is going to come. Hey, Kessie, I'll give you 15 million, 2 houses in England, 1 house at fucking, I don't know, at the Seychelles, and all your family, I'm going to give them 100K allowance every month. You know, these teams can do this shit. So we have to secure Kessie that right away. Okay, let's go from down up. Clubs and players should sign a mutual agreement to not interact with Varela from now on. Yeah, I agree with that. Don't kiss a badge while not signing the contract. Varela is toxic to team. Cohesion, sure, you get most of his clients, but every fan hates him. Yeah, Varela is toxic as fuck. He sucks. He really sucks. We love Donnarumma, but we're AC Milan fans before any player. Fuck Donnarumma. I mean, guys, I have a lot of respect for the player, for the person as a player, but it is what it is. Preach, Roy. Sad to see, or happy to see that our loan players, for example, Diaz and Dalla, were so passionate and for us making it into the UCL. They celebrated like they will certainly play for us next season. Yeah, yeah. And all of you guys, I'm sure you saw that image of them, pretending to be in the Champions League with the music. That was really cool. All right, let's see. I'm going to get into the next report. Okay, so guys, that's Donnarumma. This is the story with Donnarumma. Tessalim says, and no, you sign all of them at the same time. Tomori can't wait either. I mean, Tomori is definitely a priority. For sure. Is definitely priority number 1. Well, not to me is priority number 2. Kessie is priority number 2. All right, guys, give me 1 second here. I'm going to look at the situation with the Loanees. Okay. All right. So we do, speaking of Loanees, and I think someone mentioned it earlier, so now let's get into that argument. As far as Loanees go, we have a bunch of them, right? We have Dalot, we have Diaz, Tomori, of course, and then we have Tonali and Mete, right? These are players that Milan still has to buy and has to, make a decision. So let's just go over these players just for a second right now, and let's see what you guys think. I'm very curious to know what you guys think about that. And let me know if you guys think these players deserve to stay, which players should go, which players should stay. In my opinion, I think that the Tomori, of course, has to stay, no doubt. let's start with Mate, because Mate is the player that maybe has the least amount of pull. You know, he's only what, about 8 million to 7 million. What do you guys think? Do you think Mate has earned his keep? Do you think Mate should keep on staying at Milan and become maybe, you know, a third or fourth choice? What do you guys think? Do you think that Mate should stay? Now, in my opinion, Mate was probably, even though he didn't play as much in the second season, I've said this already, I think Mate was probably the second best midfielder after Kessie. Benacer did not come into form after his injuries, which is also a topic of discussion. Because it's strange. Because, you know, I don't know why you wouldn't come back into form after you get injured. Like that. I mean, he just had like what, hamstring injuries. Why would you not be able to get back in form? And I don't know if it had to do with psychology or fitness. The fact that they only had 2 weeks to stay to prepare for the season. But, you know, we also saw other players like Ibra. Ibra came in and out of injury. Ibra came right in and he did well, you know. We had Çalhanoğlu did not come back as strong as he did. I think, and Çalhanoğlu also is a topic of debate as far as contract goes. You know, so I think some of that has got to do with the contract thing. But Calabria, Calabria had a freaking operation on his knee, and he came back, and it's like he never left, you know. So it is a strange topic of debate regarding Benacer's ability to recover. Okay, so Mate. Let's see what you guys think about Mate. I'm very curious, because Mate is not a headline kind of player. Tixai says, yes, you would like to keep Mate. Mate have no upside. I think he unlikely to develop any further. Needs to be shipped. Mate needs to be shipped back as soon as possible. Sorry. Keep Mate for sure. He's not as bad as we have made him out to be. He does the simple things well and can actually play in that role. Yeah. Honestly, my opinion about Mate is more positive than negative. Now, it really depends on the transfer market. They need, obviously, if he goes, that means someone else is coming in. But so far, I definitely think that Mate can be a valuable fourth choice. You need to, hey guys, if you want to go deep in the Champions League, your bench needs to be deep. So, you know, Mate as a fourth choice, maybe not too bad. Maybe not too bad. But if they find someone else, someone better, maybe someone a little bit younger that kind of plays that defensive role, because they need someone else to play like Kessie. They need another defensive midfielder, someone that is more defensive than offensive. Mate has actually, his qualities are good. He's very strong. He's very good at protecting the ball and shielding the ball. And sometimes he also, maybe Mate's best ability when it comes to talent is his ability to get out of tight situations in that midfield. And you know, so he does have good technique. Now, of course, when it comes to overall quality, he's not Kessie, he's not Benacer. Obviously, Mate has more physicality than Benacer, but when it comes to quality on the ball, he's definitely not up there. But if they keep him, I'm going to say I won't be disappointed. All right. So I'd rather see Tonali play more than Mate. Guys, Tonali 20. Tonali didn't even get called up from the under-21. That is a crime. That is a crime. Tonali didn't get called up from 21. Maybe only if we can get him for 2 to 3 million. Yeah, like if you get a Mate for 2 to 3 million, I mean, why not? Mate, in my role, overperformed this season, and he hasn't the chemistry we can see. Why not? If he's cheap, we should save money for a proper number 9 and trequartista. Yeah, that's a good idea. For me, the only negative is his age. I'm gung-ho for youth project, by the way. Unpopular opinion, has impressed me more than Tonali with Tonali versus margins for growth. Yeah, of course, Tonali is only 20. Meta is, what, 26, 27. But Meta is not a replacement for Gassi. He's more advanced player, and he gives different opposition. He can only improve and get better with us. Yeah. So Mete for me is let's say 65 yes, 35 no. Okay, that's Mete for me. 65 yes, 35 no. All right, let's move on. Diaz. Let's go to Diaz. Let's see what you guys think of Diaz. So Diaz is a very, very, very technical player. Small, low center of gravity kind of player, reminiscent of the Jovinkos, those kind of players that, are very technical, are very good at dribbling and weaving through players. He's creative. He's got goals. He's got assists, but his containment is very weak. His containment is very weak. So that is the negative aspect of Diaz, but the positive aspects of Diaz are really good. And it seems like Milan want to keep him on loan for one more season. That's what the reports are saying. I think that would be a good idea. Let's keep him on loan on one season. Actually, and if we can, let's even buy him. We'll see how Diaz does in the under-21. By the way, we are going to be following the under-21s. Those are always very interesting tournaments. That's where the future is, in the under-21s. So Diaz, for me, is definitely 100% yes. 100% yes. Let's keep him for another season for sure. Let's see. Joseph says Diaz is a must loan again. He can be like Papu Gomez. Yeah, exactly. He's very similar to those players, those smaller players, but are very technical, but still very strong. I mean, Papu Gomez, you cannot push Papu Gomez off the ball. You cannot push Messi off the ball. These are very strong players. But the problem with these players is if these players do not develop that strength, then they struggle a lot because they need to develop the strength. I think Diaz will not have a problem at all. I think he is. These last games have shown us that if he plays as a segunda punta or as a trequartista, the guy is good to go, and we should definitely keep him. We should try to get another loan for him. We need to put on some muscle as he is. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, Tixan. Even the Real Madrid fans don't want to lose Diaz, so definitely a yes. Need to loan him for one more season and buy him the following season. Yeah. So Diaz, we're all in, 100% in. Lock him in the gym for the summer with Kissi. All right, so Diaz is definitely 100% in. Let's move on to the next player. Let's move on to who is Dalot. Okay, what do you guys think of Dalot? Should we keep Dalot or not? Dalot to me had a very positive season. He came in quite strongly. To me, he seems a player that has a lot of he has a lot of potential to become a very important player. It really depends, because obviously he's not an early bloomer, but he could be a late bloomer. He does have the potential of being a late bloomer. Technically, he showed us that he can play well in big games. He did play well against Manchester United. Actually, played very well against Manchester United. He played well most times he came on the field. The reports I'm reading seems like Dalot now is out. He is gone. We're looking elsewhere. But for me, Dalot would be more like more yes than no. Let's give Dalot 55 yes, 45 no. Dalot has progressed well. He can play on both sides, but Manchester United is asking too much. Okay, so it comes to the price. I see. I wouldn't keep Dalot just because we have Kalulu, who is promising defensive. Dalot to keep for sure. I can't even believe I just said that second half of the season was good, not for 20 million though. 20 million, yeah, 20 million is a little bit on the expensive side. You know what? I just wanna open a parenthesis here, or rather, just open a new paragraph before we get into the Loanees. So Pep Guardiola was on this show. Bobo Vieri has this show he does on Twitch called Bobo Vieri TV. It's him, Antonio Cassano, Lele Adani, who is a commentator. He commentates in Italy a lot. He does matches. He commentates matches. He's an opinionist. He used to play for Fiorentina. He played for Inter. He was never a superstar, but he was like an average, a little bit slighter, higher than average player in Serie A. And then you have, those four, and Nicola Ventola, who was a striker. And basically, they have this. They have the show they do in Italian, and they had Guardiola on the show. And Guardiola was talking about that Barcelona that started that whole generation. And he did say something that to me is lacking when it comes to AC Milan. So he said that the real golden goose of that Barcelona was the youth system. When Cruyff came and put his 2 cents and put his ideas, basically, when it came to players like Busquets, when it came to like Xavi, Iniesta, all these players that came from the youth system that then went to win all those Champions League, they were training those players to play that way since they were 6 years old, since they were little children, pretty much. And Guardiola said the real key in Barcelona is the youth system and the philosophy and the ability to churn out top players straight from their version of what is Primavera. And I wish Milan would do that. I don't understand why Milan is not doing that. And 8 players, guys, 8 players came from their youth system, coupled with a few, Eto'o, Ronaldinho. Messi was also part of the youth system, by the way. Coupled with just a few, other players. There you go. You create a cycle that can last for 10 years and can win you 4 Champions League. Then those players end up winning World Cups, Euros. Where is Milan's youth system? Where is it? Why can't we do the same thing? Like why do we need to spend 20 million for Dalot? Why can't we create our own players? What's going on? And this is a problem in Italy in general, I think. If anything, I would criticize Milan needs to step it up when it comes to the youth system, because it's not very good. All right, so let's keep on going. So we spoke about Diaz, we spoke about Dalot, we spoke about Meite. Dalot, 20 million seems to be a little bit too much. Depends on our budget. But it also we got to replace him with someone that can perform. Now let's go on to Tonali. So Tonali for sure. Tonali is definitely you got to keep Tonali. Tonali is only 20 years old. He has many years, and if even Tonali has to go on loan for a year, depending on the team that they put together next year, that's okay, because if he gets time, it's just experience. But I think Tonali won't go on loan. I think he will stay and he will keep on playing, and he will do an absolute brilliant job. I have a lot of faith in Tonali. So Tonali, 100% yes, 100% yes. And when it comes down to Tomori, 100% yes, 100% yes. There's absolutely no doubt about that. So it looks like Dalot out, Diaz a maybe. Meite looks like he's out, but we don't know for sure. Tonali, Tomori. So, hey, Milan has players to buy. We have players to buy. Maybe we simply don't give enough chance for Primavera, lads. 100%. Thoughts on Donnarumma? Yeah, guys, we spoke about Donnarumma, Leonardo. Donnarumma is going where the money takes him. We should never have got rid of Locatelli. Yeah, Locatelli. Okay, for example, Locatelli, another example of a player that we let go, but did very well. The youth system, man, in Milan is not good. We need to do much better. I want to see Colombo, Bresciani, Pobega, Plizzari given more chance to do well. Brescianini, sorry. Tonali for sure. He just needs time to develop. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we bought a lot of young players, but we need to create young players. We need to create them. We need to create them in our own backyard. And then we can sell them, make a big load of cash. That's so messed up. That's so fucked up. Yeah. All right, so that's the situation with the Loanees. We covered Pioli. Pioli for sure. He is in for sure. So we covered Donnarumma. Guys, time to open up the lines. So let's start right away first with our guest, Saif Najjar. What's up, my friend? How you doing? Let me get him in.
Can you hear me, Roy?
Hey, Saif, how you doing?
I'm doing perfect, man. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. So, Saif, how do you feel?
Mixed emotions. I think the news that broke out today kind of pissed me off at first. But after that, I calmed down and I realized that Nesta interview that he done, where he said,
Nesta?
yeah, he said something in the lines of the times when they were at the club or something. It was in Italian, so I didn't understand everything. He was like, no one is bigger than the club. I saw that, and that was really inspiring, coming from a legend. Billy Costa Curta, when he came out and he criticized Donnarumma, or should I say Donnarumma, that really gave me big satisfaction, to be honest. It's important for legends or guys with big personalities to come out and criticize the player, that Milan gave everything to him. Any other club, let's say he was at Inter, let's say he was at Juventus, he wouldn't have been the player that he is today. No way. We gave him a debut at 16. We signed, just because to convince him to stay, we signed his useless fucking brother, who's a piece of shit. I don't know when was the last time he played the game for us. Yes, Donnarumma, yes, mister, we'll buy your brother. He kept making excuses. I will sign for 8 million if we make the Champions League. It's okay. All these reports. And when we finally make the Champions League and he's happy and he posts on Instagram, grande squadra, and in the end he does that. What I want to say though, I want to praise Maldini and the Milan management. As you guys like to say in Italian, Maldini uomo con le palle, or something like that. Yes, he didn't bow down to Donnarumma. He told him, if you don't want to sign, we're gonna get a player. We all thought at first that it was a scary tactic just for him to accept the 8 million when the news broke out about Mignon. In the end, we did it. Straight after they won the league, the day after he's unofficially official, let's say. He's coming to Milan. Yeah, praise to Milan. This is a great mentality. This is a big club mentality.
Yeah.
More important players like Kaká left, Shevchenko left. But you know what? They left and we didn't have much to criticize them about because they gave so much to the club. They won everything with the club. Donnarumma thinks he's already Buffon or something. He can fuck off. It's a feeling of hatred. I actually hate the guy now. He was possibly one of my top 3 most favorite players in the team. Now I hate him. He can go fuck himself.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I can understand why you would have strong feelings about what happened. I think you know what, Saif? I think that what happened. Hey, what's up? Nice.
What's up?
I think that the reason why they already signed Manin is because they already knew. It has to be, right? Because
Well, I think it's also a statement. They weren't gonna wait for Donnarumma forever. I think it was a statement by Maldini and the management.
So you think that they did this in spite? They said, "Look, we're not going to keep on doing this back and forth with you, Donnarumma. We're just going to sign Manin and screw you." You think that's what happened?
Yeah, I do, because I'm telling you, the same is gonna happen with Çalhanoğlu. The team, the management is not gonna stall on it so much. They're not gonna wait for Çalhanoğlu, who thinks he's the... I don't know what he thinks of himself. He's waiting for the new contract. He hasn't signed it yet. I also read on Instagram or something, they asked him about his future, and he said something in the lines of, "I still haven't decided."
I saw that.
Fuck off, seriously. Like, who the hell do you think you are? You're playing for arguably the biggest team in Italy. You have just made the Champions League. We're gonna see his intentions, that Qatari club or United Arab Emirates club. I'm gonna see what his intentions will be. There's a big chance that he will go for the money, and that's fair play to him if he wants that. But these players have just proved that they are not in it for the love of the shirt. They're not in it for the project. They just want the money. And believe me, if we would have made the Europa League, okay, and we gave Donnarumma the 12 million, he would have accepted the offer. He wouldn't have gone. I'm telling you.
Right. Which is too much. It's way too much. Hey guys, let me invite another guest here. We have Joseph Abate coming in.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up?
I'm in the process of moving, and they're re-shingling my roof. So if there's loud thuds, I apologize.
Just put it on mute if you're not talking.
Sure. Really exciting. Couple of days. Maybe too much to handle today. I was very emotional this morning as a fan of Donnarumma for him starting at such a young age. For me, and I've been saying in the chat, the thing that really pisses me off is that we've put so much money into developing him to become who he is, and he's going to walk on a free. We're not going to recover any of that money that we put into developing him. That hurts. That really makes it sting. Like, he could have just signed a 6-month contract to get a transfer fee, but
no. It's now, guys, I personally think that this was already planned, that they already knew that they weren't going to meet eye to eye on the contract, and the arrangements were already set probably months ago. And then, the timing is strange, though, which kind of leads me to believe that maybe, Saif, you are right regarding why they did it, because it happens right after the Serie A, which is the timing definitely makes it strange. My suspicion is that Donnarumma, okay, guys, I'm going to go total conspiracy theory right. My suspicion is that Donnarumma has already had a contract with Juventus for years now. It's been years, but they already sealed the deal, because this was going on, I think it was already with Mihajlovic, already when he started, pretty much when he started playing. And these rumors have been coming in and out. Now, of course, I could be completely wrong, but my feeling is that Donnarumma had already signed a contract, or had already had an agreement with Juve, and Maldini was trying to keep him, or trying to negotiate, trying to convince him, but Juve is offering, him a heavy wallet, and he likes that weight on his wallet. He likes that weight more than he likes the colors of his shirt. So yeah, it is what it is. Now you're talking now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sir. And also, may I add, I'm also pissed off at the situation because it takes so much from what a brilliant signing Mike Mignon is. Everyone's going to talk about Donnarumma and how he's going to leave and how it's going to affect. I'm not just saying this because sour grapes, he's going to go to Juventus. He can go anywhere. I don't give a fuck. Seriously. He can go fuck himself. Mignon is a goalkeeper who's going to battle out for the starting spot versus in France with Hugo Lloris. He is a very good goalkeeper. He's young. He has the potential to become one of the best. Top 10, maybe. Top 5 is a stretch. I think he's a top 10 goalkeeper. His stats are crazy. He was a contender for the MVP, if that's how you say it, of the Ligue 1 campaign this season. He has the most. He has the most clean sheets. I've watched many Lille games. He's very confident. He always comes out for crosses and he rarely makes mistakes. So I really like this player.
Yeah, from what I've seen, he's been a very consistent player.
Yeah.
There was a Milanista that was talking about him on another channel that is involved more in Milanello. They have a channel called Hello Milan, and he was saying that Donnarumma is more of a the way he compared the two players. Donnarumma one day would be 100, then the next day, then the next day it'll be 80, 90, but then 60, 50, 80, 70, 90, whatever. But Manin is more like he doesn't go to 100 as much as Donnarumma does, but he doesn't have these dips.
8.5, 7.5, like he's at that level. I saw the video too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. Do you speak Italian, Saif?
I kinda, but because it's very close to the Romanian language. So.
Oh right, yeah, of course.
When I went to Milan, I actually interacted with people in Italian because it's an easy language. Honestly, it's a very easy language.
Nice. Joey, what do you think about Manin?
I think it's a great deal. What is it? 2.5 million a year, right? As compared to offering 8 million.
I think I read 3.
Even so, it's still okay with me. That's fine. And he's 20, right? He's 20.
25.
Oh, how old is Magnan? Is he 20?
He's 25.
He's 25? Really? Okay. I thought he was younger. He still looks really good. He's confident in goal. He's vocal in defense. So that's something that's always good. You need someone leading the back line, telling them where to go, how to set up, even in important matches. I had something I was going to say. I keep hearing thuds. He's a really good signing, and like Saif said, this is all being clouded by Donnarumma controversy, and I feel like in a month or two, no one's gonna care about Donnarumma. I mean, Saif, you nailed it in the head. You know, he was someone that I idolized because of him starting so young and staying with the club, and then to Roy's point, it almost seems like months ago this was decided. No matter what happened, if we made Champions League or Europa League, he would still leave, because for the longest time it seemed like that was what his goal was, to make it in the Champions League and be someone on the global or European stage to make a name for himself. We provide that for him. We've done so well this year, and now he leaves. It's upsetting. Let me mute. Sorry.
Yes, it definitely is upsetting. As I said, I was convinced that Donnarumma was staying, but there's no official news of him leaving just yet. But you would have to imagine that that's what's going to happen. Like, I mean, there's no. You guys see both Donnarumma and Manin together at the same time?
No way. And if that happens, if somehow Donnarumma stays, that's a 0% possibility. I would put him in the stands. I would start Manan every game. Seriously, I'm done with this guy. I'm done.
I don't think any of them would accept the bench. I don't think any of these two players would accept the bench because they're both players that are fighting for a spot in the national team. Putting one of these players on the bench would completely alter their careers. So you have to just imagine that it's done. It's a done deal. Donnarumma is out. I did see an article. I don't know if you guys saw it. I think I don't remember where I saw it, but Donnarumma, after the Atalanta game, told the players that he wasn't renewing. Did you guys see that?
No, apparently it was actually before.
Before the game?
Yeah, it was in the last few weeks of the season. So it's a very bad thing to do, especially when your team is fighting to qualify for the Champions League and you're telling them, yo, I'm leaving. Sorry, this is my last season.
And then he wants to celebrate on the bus like he's part of the team, like we're going somewhere. You're getting off the bus and you're going to Turin, most likely.
Yeah. It is quite strange, man. It is such a strange universe, the universe of soccer. It's a very strange universe. Well, I don't know Mike Magnin. I don't even care about watching his highlights. I don't really watch the League On, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure if this guy won the League On and is fighting to be the goalkeeper for what is arguably the best national team right now, you have to imagine this guy's quality. This guy is the real deal. And again, just to repeat something that has been said here on this channel by various people, is that Milan has won great trophies, not necessarily with the best goalkeepers, right? We can go back to Dida. When Dida was playing, Buffon was the best goalkeeper at that time. When Rossi was playing in Italy, the goalkeeper of the Italian national team was, I think, Pagliuca and Marchigiani. It was them two. But I don't think it is necessary to have the best goalkeeper. And I don't think it's absolutely necessary to have the goalkeeper, the most paid player on the team. I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration. But, guys, there's one thing that Donnarumma is very good at, in my opinion, and does set him apart. I know this is going to be very controversial, and people are going to be like, no, you're crazy. But I think his ability to organize the defense with the ball on feet is very good. It is very good. And I don't know, hopefully Magnan can do something similar. If not, then we have to adjust to what his qualities are. But Donnarumma did play almost like this last regista sometimes, which helped the team organize. Go ahead.
Over the last couple of years, it's really been impressive how he's improved with his distribution. He's gotten so much better. He's not just punting the ball across into the opposition. He's actually looking for people and sometimes, most of the time, getting the ball to them, which helps in counterattacking, building a play, just cohesiveness.
Yeah, he's definitely shown very, very, but he can only get better. He can only get better at doing that. Then, of course, he had some incredible saves, some incredible reflex saves, but he also has had some moments that were completely disastrous.
Remember Udinese? What was that? Striker Larson? He ran out completely wide open, left the net open. Just immediate goal right there. Things like that. Yeah. He runs out a lot. Maybe when he doesn't need to. Maybe he doesn't trust the people in front of him, or maybe it's something on his own end that he just has to run out to. I'm not 100% sure, but that is one of the areas that has really concerned me. When I see Gigio running out, I get very nervous. What was it against? Was it Juventus where he ran out and tried to intercept the ball or get a play Ronaldo? And I think Kier got there before him, but he still ran out.
Yeah, he has these moments that you're just like literally screaming at the screen, what the fuck are you doing? He definitely has these kind of moments. But unfortunately, guys, it looks like we'll never see these moments again with Donnarumma in AC Milan shirt.
Thank God for that.
Okay, all right. Well, look, guys, again, I'll say this one more time. I'm not angry at Donnarumma. I'm just disappointed. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, let's go to Çalhanoğlu. Joseph, what are your opinions on Çalhanoğlu?
He's a little overhyped. I think we could get someone who performs a little more efficiently in the final third.
Okay.
For around the same price. I like his attitude. I like that he's been here since the Chinese owners, and he's been with Kessie. They have a great relationship. He seems like him and Ibra are like father and son. It almost seems like on their motorcycles and stuff. It seems nice. Beyond that, he hasn't really done much in the first half of the season. He's performed a little better more recently, but I think we can get a better product and a better, more efficient product for the same price. Or if we sell him, we can get someone comparable.
Any names?
None that are coming to mind. The main one that I've heard is Mkhitaryan. I'm a big fan of youth projects, so I'd rather, as American, maybe even Gio Reyna from Dortmund.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
him a chance. I don't know. Those Dortmund kids.
Or
they always look
Pulisic. Pulisic would be nice.
and I think the way that Pioli's done and condensed the midfield three, the attacking midfield three, to play more central and interchange, that would actually work. I mean, he could be more predominantly on the right or the left, and then switch in. Sorry about the noise, guys.
That's right. Yeah. America right now has some very interesting players, guys. I think the first time ever since I've been following soccer. I mean, like the U.S. has never really had this big project of developing players that would play in big teams. And I've always told all my American friends here in America that, I always tell them, look, if you want to see the U.S. do well in the World Cup, you've got to have American players playing in the big teams in Europe. And now they are. So now you can expect the U.S. to do really well in the World Cup. And Pulisic is a really nice player. He's a nice player to watch, very entertaining player to look at, very technical, very intelligent on the ball, great. This guy, very passionate. He loves, eats, sleeps football. So yeah, Pulisic would be nice, even a Raider. Yeah. Okay, just before we move on, I want to just want to look at this comment. So Eastbourne says, just saw Magnin post he's been a Milan fan since 2015. All right. So I'm sure Donnarumma is going to say the same thing when he joins whoever team he's going to join. He's going to probably say the same shit. I've been a fan. Like if he joins Juventus, he says, I've been a fan of Juventus, ever since I was a little kid, even though he has pictures of them with Milan shirts. Saif, you already kind of gave me an idea that you are not so happy with Çalhanoğlu. And I know you've already given me an example, Fekir. But what do you want to say about him?
Very inconsistent, doesn't show up in big games, doesn't have that vision that we wish from a behind the striker player. He ruins many counterattacks. He's the type of player that really not hate seeing, but doesn't really suit the way we want to play. Because when he doesn't play, when he doesn't show up, the team normally doesn't do well and they can't break down teams like how we saw versus Cagliari, for example, or Udinese. So there are many options out there from the Serie A, from outside the Serie A.
Yeah.
Gio Reyna would be amazing, but he's very expensive. So
right.
Let's yeah.
And you said Serie A. That reminds me, we do have Pessina. Pessina is an option to bring in because we have that deal with the contract. So he could be an option to bring in. I mean, the guy did exceptionally well with Atalanta. So he's very effective in connecting the midfield line with the attacking line. He's very effective, very technical, and he also has a good fighting spirit. So he's an option, but he's not like a superstar name, He's not.
He's physical, and he also is very passionate. It seems like when we played against him, he still had a lot of passion. He was fighting for the ball. He may not have won, but over time in the last couple months, he's shown that more often than not, he will win that ball, or at least try to. And Diaz doesn't offer the same thing going forward as he would, just in size and physicality. But
right, and you have to imagine that. Now, obviously, this is just speculation. You have to imagine that because of how Pioli has organized his system, Pioli prefers to have a player that can also contain. So whatever player they're going to pick, I'm pretty sure the profiles they're looking in that position if Çalhanoğlu is out is a player that is good at containing too. So I wonder if they're going to really pick, very quality players in that position. I wonder if they're going to pick more of these hybrid hybrid attacking midfielders just to have more balance. Because in the Serie A, it's all containment.
Hakan's always running back on defense, always. So if we lose that, we need someone else to cover that hole.
Yes. So you have to imagine that if Pioli is looking for a player similar to that. Is Fekir like that, Saif? Is Fekir a kind of player that contains, that you'll see him in a game where, let's say, the team doesn't have much possession, but will you see him behind the line of the ball all the time, fighting and hustling? Because it looks like this is what they're going for, which means that we don't have many options as far as quality.
I mean, he's not really. I mean, he can pressure, but he's not really known for tracking back or going back on defense a lot. So when I actually think about it, he might not be the perfect player. Maybe maybe in an attacking sense he would be,
Right.
but not for tracking back.
Maybe Fekir is more similar to Diaz with Chelsea.
Yeah, something like that. And maybe we were linked to a guy named Marcel Sabitzer because of something like this. Because he's that type of player. He's also an all-action midfielder. He can play in any position in the midfield. And if need be, he can also play as a striker. So I think that would be a very good buy.
And if you are to think of players that are more like a hybrid kind of player between an attacking midfielder and a midfielder, a containment player that can play in that position, like aside the names we have said, like a Pessina, but Pessina is not a very exciting name. What do you think? Do you have any maybe exciting names that you can think of?
I don't really have names on the top of my head, but Sabitzer really came to my mind because I saw him playing a lot. Also, he has much experience in the Champions League, so I think that would be very beneficial. And he's a leader. I think he's the captain of Leipzig, and even if he's not the captain of Milan, let's say if he comes, he's a leader. He's the type to shout, to go there. He takes risks. He shoots a lot. I think that's good. That's very beneficial. An example for young players that we have on the team.
I came up with a name in Fiorentina. Amrabat, Sofian Amrabat. He's good going back. He's good going forward. He may not be at the right quality right now to be a Milan player, but he's shown in the past at Verona and at Fiorentina that he can play really well in the midfield role, tracking back and going forward.
But I think he's more of a defensive midfielder, if I'm not mistaken. He's very physical. I also saw him playing in the Moroccan national team, and he plays in that defensive midfield role. So I'm not sure he can play in Çalhanoğlu's role, but he's a very good player. Yeah.
So he might just, if that was the case, he'd just take up another one of the holding midfield spots that we have between Krunic, Mete, Tonali, all of them.
Like you'd be more suited for the pivot role, maybe. Is that what you're saying, Safe? Okay, honestly, I don't know this player that well, so I can't really comment. From Fiorentina, I honestly can't give you a name. But Lucas on mobile says De Paul is perfect. De Paul seems like a player similar to Çalhanoğlu, kind of box-to-box midfielder that has quality, that can connect the midfield with the offense. He's a possible solution. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go on.
I've watched him for years. There's times when he doesn't. I don't know if it's just because he plays at Udinese, but there are times where he kind of becomes a prima donna and he doesn't run and he's more theatrical. And I don't know if I want a player like that.
Yeah. If that's the case, I wouldn't want a player like that either. How about Çalhanoğlu?
Do you see him on the bus honking the horn in the video? If you guys saw that one.
Oh, okay. This one here, guys. This is the guy I would take right away. Thank you, Ricardo Simunga. This is the guy I would go right now. Right now, I would go and get him and bring him to Milano right away.
Right. If it was in 2018, early 2019, I would have loved him too. But he's finished. He has become very slow. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's injury prone as well. I'm not sure about this. Does Isco really excite you like it did? And defensively, he's not the best. He doesn't track back a lot. I'm not sure about Isco, honestly. He's not the same player as he used to be.
I think if he comes to Milan, it would be maybe a revival. Maybe get him to. Maybe he needs motivations. Obviously, he has dropped, and that Real Madrid team is so stacked. So try getting space on that team is difficult. But Isco for me, yes. I think you're right, though. He's not really a containment player as hard as maybe what Pioli would want. But you can't really. It's hard to think of any players that are like that. Maybe Çalhanoğlu is the best guy for how Pioli wants to play.
We've seen other. Just going back to your point about Isco, we've seen other players that struggled in other leagues, Premier League in Spain, come to Italy and do well. I mean, there's Tomori. You can go back to Ashley Young. What was the Roma defender from Man United? Can't remember him. There's examples of this where maybe he doesn't, like you said, there's a lot of depth on that team at Real Madrid that maybe he could provide a role. I don't know if he is the guy that would provide what we need for our system, though.
Yeah. And also, you'd have to also imagine that if, depending on the transfer market, because a lot of the times, the way these people are that conduct the transfer market, sometimes they don't even fucking talk to the coach. They'll just buy players and they'll tell them, all right, make it work. So it is, I guess, depending on what we see in this transfer market, Pioli is going to have to adjust his formation and his formula. So let's say if he does get an Isco, obviously he can't. There has to be an adjustment. Which brings me to this. Let's dream a little bit, guys. Let's dream a little bit. Let's talk about some players that we would like to see at Milan. And Carlo Moretti earlier, and I think Youssef said a name that to me is very exciting. And I almost hope, guys, that in this Donnarumma deal with Juventus, this name here also comes into play. I mean, now, again, I said, now we're dreaming. But what do you guys think of a Dybala? Of course, he wouldn't be Çalhanoğlu's replacement, but a Dybala at Milan.
Is he really that much of a dream these days? I mean,
you think it's a possibility?
It's a long shot from happening, but I mean, it's not impossible. I'm sure his price has dropped a lot. He's a bit older now. It's not like 2 or 3 years ago when Tottenham wanted to pay like 80 million for him. I would love him at Milan. He's the guy that could transform your team to another level. He's a game changer. Even when he's playing like shit, he can just make a shot out of nowhere and he can score a goal.
Yes.
And he has done that a lot against us. He has massacred us in many games.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys remember that Palermo Milan Dybala versus Zapata? You guys remember that? This was quite a few years ago when Dybala was at Palermo. He just ate Zapata for breakfast, and he scored a magnificent goal. But I would love to see Dybala at Milan, man. And he's the kind of player that would suit him perfectly at Milan. A seconda punta that comes from the right and then shoots with his left. Which would mean that the system would have to change a little bit. But Dybala is definitely one of the dreams that I have. So, guys, why don't you guys? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how much do you think he's worth?
You mean his price tag or his wages or both?
His price tag. His price tag.
His price tag.
40, 50 million, maybe.
40 million. That's what I'm thinking. The first number that came to mind was 40 in the Italian transfer market. But when it comes to, if he was in England, he'd be worth way more. But in the Italian transfer market, I would say 40 million. And I think you can make a deal where you pay in rates. It could be something to go for. Yeah. So, guys, you tell me names. Give me names. Give me some names that sound exciting that we could dream of.
I saw a comment saying De Bruyne. I've been a huge fan of him since he was at Wolfsburg. He's brilliant on the ball, off the ball. He's amazing. That would be a dream if he could come over.
Yes, and De Bruyne also is very special because he does not have an agent. He is his own agent, and the way he negotiates his contracts is with data analysis. It's a very interesting way of negotiate. I guess he can afford to do it because his stats are so good, but he would be a player that would suit Milan. And guys, check this out. Check this out. I was telling you earlier that Guardiola was on the Bubble Vieri TV show. Did you watch it, Safe? Did you watch the Bubble Vieri thing?
It popped off a little bit in my feed, but I didn't click on it. But I know they're doing a show.
Yeah. So Guardiola was on that show, and Guardiola did say that he is definitely going to be coaching in Italy one day. That, you know, he made that clear. And where Milan is the best fit for Guardiola, right? Like Milan plays the kind of football that Guardiola produces. And this would be the perfect fit for Milan. Again, this is the dreaming section, so we might see Guardiola in AC Milan in the future. Here, guys, Lucas is very convinced about De Paul. He says 9 goals and 11 assists for Udinese this season in Serie A, and I've never heard De Paul complaining like that, or else he would have already left. Come on, man. If you're not sure about him, don't talk. Damn.
Yeah, the thing about De Paul is he's not really an upgrade over Çalhanoğlu. He's a bit better than him, but he's not an upgrade. He's not a guy for the Champions League group stages or knockout stages or to fight for the Scudetto. He's not that player, so no way.
Gotcha. Guys, let's look at these names here that Just Virda says. He says Icardi, Dybala. We already spoke about Dybala, so we don't need to speak about Dybala. Savic, Milenkovic, Renato Sanchez. Okay, Icardi, for me, I'm going to go first, is a quick no. I do not like the entourage that comes with Icardi. Icardi is a tabloid player. Like, he's going to be in the tabloids the whole time.
We don't want Wanda. We don't want Wanda.
No. Exactly. The newspapers are going to be talking more about Wanda and all her because she's going to get involved with the team, with politics in the team, and she's like a Raiola light. So we don't want Icardi, in my opinion. And what do you guys think? Well?
Yeah, same. And I also saw on social media many Paris Saint-Germain fans hate him because when he plays, he rarely runs. That's what they say, most of them. He doesn't run. His positioning is terrible, and he's always complaining to the team, "Wow, give me the ball, give me the ball." He doesn't do anything with it. And there's a big reason why even the Champions League final last season, he wasn't even. They put Choupo-Moting in place of him in the final, and Icardi wasn't even thought about. He's overrated, in my opinion, in terms of strikers. He's not the best.
Yeah, I'm not convinced with Icardi, and he's a player that is very last man. So if your team isn't playing well, Icardi is not going to solve the game for you. So Icardi for me is a no. Vic Devo is very convinced about Icardi. He says Icardi bangs in goals. So there you go. So, but let's look at these other names. So, okay, Icardi, we all agree here. At least us three, we agree a no. Dybala, I think it's more of a yes here between all three of us. Savic, Milenkovic, this is the Lazio midfielder, correct?
Yeah.
Now, guys, what do you think of a pivot? Kessie, Savic, Milenkovic.
Wow. Well, I don't want to say I want it because I have so much faith in the Nasser. He's although he has dipped in form, but he's a very talented player. It's no coincidence that Barcelona was prepared to pay 40 million plus for him. So
hey guys, Savic Milenkovic would be a perfect replacement for Çalhanoğlu. He's that kind of player. He's a player that has quality and has the box-to-box kind of game. He's not an attacking midfielder. He could be maybe used as a hybrid. So he could be used in the double pivot and as an attacking midfielder. Joey, what do you think?
I love Milinkovic-Savic. I've been a huge fan of him. There was, what was it, 2 years ago, we had rumors on the last day of the transfer market that we might get him. There was a saga about that. I was all for it. Now that we have Benacer and Kessie and they're performing really well, I don't see him being someone, especially since what Pioli's done recently with interchanging the attacking midfielders. I don't know if necessarily he can fit that role of switching out wide. I know he can track back and get forward. He's very technical. He's very good on the ball. He's got a great shot. I just don't know if he can move within the system that we're trying to build. He's a great player, but I don't know if he fits. I don't think he does.
And what about as a replacement for Çalhanoğlu?
Specifically for Çalhanoğlu, I'd love him in the midfield, but for that role, I'd say no. If somehow Kessie left, God forbid, or Benacer left, maybe to fill in the back in the midfield just to stay in the pivot. But other than that, I don't see it as much.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Now, Renato Sanchez, I do not. Who is this player? Who's Renato Sanchez?
He plays with Lille.
Lille, yeah, and he was Monaco, or before that he was at he played at Bayern as well, right?
He was the golden boy of the world.
Yeah.
At 18, he won the Euros with Portugal. He was the next big thing.
Oh, okay. So he's a Portuguese player. All right, guys, you forgive me. I'm not very familiar with players that play outside of Italy, because I don't really give a shit about anything that goes outside of Italy when it comes to football. Forgive me. It's not because I'm a piece of shit. It's because I just don't have the time.
Okay.
I can only follow what happens in Serie A. But next season with the Champions League is going to be different. Guys, I want to bring in Antonio, has come in to join us. Antonio, how are you doing, my friend? What's going on?
I'm good, Roy. Thanks for having me again. Today's a busy day, so I won't stay for as long, but I really love talking about transfers, so I had to come in to talk for a bit.
Lucas says, Roy, no. Okay, good to hear, Antonio. But guys, we still have about 45 minutes, then the stream is over. Roy, no. Hakan is not a box. He is a box midfielder, but he's not. He is not like. I mean, remember that Hakan can also play as a mezzala. So what is a mezzala? A mezzala is a hybrid between a winger and a midfielder, right? So if you play a 4-3-3, Hakan can play either on the left of the three in the midfield or on the left in the striker position. So if you do ask Hakan to play as a box-to-box midfielder, it's in him to do so. Now, whether or not he does it as well as Kessie or other players, that is to be seen. All right, let's Antonio, what are your thoughts, man? I haven't heard from you, so give me your thoughts about Milan, about Donnarumma, about all this stuff, and transfer market. You said you wanted to talk about transfer market. Go ahead.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff happened today. Like you guys already talked about, I heard most of the conversation. At first, I was extremely surprised because I didn't think it would happen today. And I thought that it would extend a bit more, but after I heard the news, I was kind of relieved because it's just not right for us to have to suffer and have to worry about people leaving. I know Magnon is a good goalkeeper because I watch a lot of Ligue 1 in France, and his statistics are great. So when I saw that news, I was like, you know what, we got a great goalkeeper. Good for us. We can move on, and he wants way less money, so I'm very happy with that. And then as for the transfer market in general, I would, for my signings, I would prefer, we need, we've talked about a right winger, a striker, and I would or a number 10. And if we can, I would love to get another defensive midfielder. And if you ask me, Renato Sanchez is my preferred target because I've liked him for a long time. And if you go back and watch the first game when we played Lille, he was just amazing against our team. And we had Benacer and Kessie in that game, and he just dominated the midfield. So he's very, very technical, very physical, And yeah, he would be my dream midfield target.
Nice. Okay. Let's read some of these comments and let's respond to some of these comments. And if you guys have any other players that you're thinking of that could be dream players for the next team, please let me know.
I think Andrea made a good point. You showed his comment just a second ago. Odegaard, he's on loan from Real at Arsenal. They are in, I think I just checked, what are they in? 8th place. They're not going to make it unless they win the Europa. They're
out. Yeah, they're done.
So he's going to go back to Real. He's an option. We have a great history with loaning players from Real Madrid. It could be an option, maybe a loan deal for a year. Let's see what happens. Maybe he'd like that.
Got you. Let's see here what. Yes, go ahead.
I wanted to ask if you guys heard like all of this crazy news coming out of like Roma recently. I've heard like about Roma. I'm hearing that they're like linked with all of these different players, and that like because Mourinho's there, it's going to be like a crazy summer for them. I hope they don't take some of our targets, but I think they wanted Magnon as well. Okay. Yeah, so it was good that I'm happy that I think that was maybe one of the reasons why we got him so early. All of a sudden, he's just in Milan already, so that's pretty crazy how it happened so quickly.
Yeah. Roma is definitely going to be a pain in the ass. One of the names that comes to mind is Belotti. And I think someone also, I wanted to read someone wrote something about Belotti that was very interesting. I can't remember when, but Belotti's price tag seems to be very, very low.
Yeah, I think I was the one who wrote that.
You wrote that?
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere that either it was like a 15 million. I can't remember. It was either 15 million from Roma offering for Belotti, and I said, "Would you match that price tag?"
Oh, yes, I would for sure. That's nothing. That's peanuts for Belotti.
Yeah, I also read that 15 million was the bid. I think they've made their first official bid. I heard that Roma's linked with many like players that we are linked with as well. They're linked with like a bunch. They're really trying to like revolutionize, bring more like maybe like more youth and like pace into their team, which I think is necessary. One player that I actually really like, and I know he's not really like young, but I mean, if we find a young player like maybe Odegaard or something, that'd be really great to have as an attacking midfielder. But I actually like Mkhitaryan. I think like when you watch him play, he had a good season. He scored a good amount of goals, and he has a great shot, and he's pretty practical. So like if we need a replacement, I think he would be like super cheap. I don't know if he's a free transfer, but he's really good.
Yeah, Mkhitaryan actually could be also good. Beecher Çalhanoğlu. Maybe. He kind of plays centrally, and he's a hard worker. The guy works hard, at least from what I've seen.
He can also play on the wing.
And he can also play on the right wing, right? So that could be a good option, actually. That could be a great option, to be honest with you. So, as this transfer market season is going to heat up, a lot of names are going to come up, a lot of good names too. Amir, I want to read Amir's comment. Guys, I'm going to start paying attention a little bit more to these comments, and maybe we can respond to these comments. So Amir says, I came here to officially say goodbye to the spoiled brats named Romagnoli and Donnarumma. Yes, you two have been on this team in our worst of times, and you're not the best of our organization. Look, I am of the idea that I do not want Raiola players anymore. I don't. If Kessie was a Raiola player, I wouldn't even want Kessie. Okay, I'm just tired of this politics. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. This club deserves way more than this piece of shit money, fucking disgusting way of dealing. Whoa, sorry. Karma. Okay, so let's read here. Okay, guys, maybe we can respond to this question here. What type of forwards are we thinking of? We need solid, young, consistent forwards. What about the guy from Fiorentina or Giroud or anyone else? Okay, I'll go first, then you guys respond. Giroud, for me, is more a no than a yes. I don't want a player that is over 32. Depends on who. But Giroud, no. I would rather go for a Belotti that is in 27 26, 28, 29 range. I would rather go for those players, or maybe a Depay or Belotti. As far as the young kid at Fiorentina, yes, he's an excellent goal scorer. 20 years old, he's scored. I think he's the youngest player to ever score so many goals during a season in Serie A. His future looks bright, but I do have a fear that it would be a bet, and we don't know if it would pay off. If someone that is 27, 28, 29, and has proved himself, that's less of a bet. Next year, I really want to do well in the Champions League, and going in the Champions League with bets, to me, is not ideal. All right, you guys take it.
I just worry that Vlahovic is just going to be another Piontek, someone who does well for a little bit. I mean, he's physically different. He plays different, but the hype is really high. We're going to spend too much, and then we just ship him off to Germany or something. I just worry that he's not going to live up to that same standard. He's highly rated on Football Manager and FIFA and stuff, so people think highly of him, but they're not always right. And I don't know if I'm willing to make that gamble.
Okay, so for you, it's Vlahovic, no, huh? What about Giroud? Oh, wait, did you?
Sorry, I just muted myself. Giroud, like you said, over 32, that's kind of a problem. I really am in favor of going for a youth project because there's more value and you can extract more value out of people. If you buy, I don't know if it'd be for free, but you don't get a return on that money just maybe from performance or jersey sales. You're not going to get it from selling them on or anything like that, which really hurt us towards the end of Berlusconi's era. We had all these players who stayed with us for so long. We couldn't resell them. We lost value on that. So.
Got it. Yes. Okay, so Antonio already know your answer. Antonio is a big fan of Vlahovic.
I can build just a little bit about that. I've been like going more and more towards him. I think recently, so back when we had Andre Silva, my dad he's someone who like really liked him and he never wanted us to get rid of him. I think we spent like 40 million for him or something like that. Like he was really expensive. And with our unstable team, he wasn't that good. Now he's scored, I think, 28 or 27 goals in the Bundesliga. So I think, yes, I'm in favor. Even if Vlahovic doesn't have like an amazing first year, like I think it's worth taking a risk and being patient. I think now we have a team. I think we have a team that's much better. And I think he'll be in a better position to succeed than our past strikers like Piontek. Because if you think about it, all the situations that we create, I look at our team, we have a strong midfield, a strong back four. When we push up, we need someone to be that target man. And I think that now we're built to like have just that, we can have a striker that can just focus on his individual role of being a number 9 target. So that's why I like him. And I know he's expensive, but I don't really see like that many other options unless you want to go super cheap and just get like people who are on freeze. I don't think Depay is much of a like singular number 9 player. I mean, I like him a lot. I don't know where he would fit, maybe attacking midfielder, but I like him, but I don't know if he's exactly the type of target we're talking about.
Real quick about something you said. You said, maybe even if he doesn't do well next season. So that means that you're going into this thinking that you want to develop him, right? Rather than we need him to win. Because next season we need to win. We need to get in the top 4, and we need to do well in the Champions League. So if we get Vlahovic the way you're looking at it, that means that Vlahovic is mostly on the bench.
I don't think he should be most on the bench, but I also think that we need to remember that we still have Ibra for another year. And there's not that many number 9s that would want to like, if you guys want to get a good number 9, there's not many that would like be okay with Ibra like taking the spotlight. And Vlahovic is one of the only people that actually would be, even though he's young and he wants to play. He has a really good relationship with Ibra. And I think Ibra, they could like kind of cooperate together and share minutes. And then so that's that. But also talking about Vlahovic, what I think of it, like, lowering the expectations. He should go into next season performing well. I'm just saying worst come to worst. even if he didn't have like an amazing season, I wouldn't like consider it a failure like right away. I think you could expect him to improve, especially since like if you look at Tonali, I mean, I think we're all expecting him to improve as well. So you need to have patience with these players. And I think he could, but I still think he could have an immediate impact is what I'm saying. I still think he can have that impact.
All right, so you finish off this this segment about which kind of strikers you like.
I see some of the comments, someone spamming Skamaka. I mean, seriously, the guy is nothing special. Come on, how many goals did you score?
That's Lucas. Lucas loves Skamaka. Actually, Lucas has been calling for Skamaka for a really long time.
But Shomurodov gets more time at Genoa than Skamaka.
Who?
So why would we buy someone who's not even – he's behind the Shomurodov? I mean, Shomurodov's good, but why would we be talking about is the third option at Genoa as our backup or our striker, our main striker? I like him. He's got a great build. He's physical. He's strong. He could play like Ibra. He does fancy flicks, and he's impressive. But he's more like Mastuar in that way. He's good on video, but on the field, not so much.
Okay, really fast. Skamaka right now, I believe he is in the under-21 tournament that is when is it? The 31st. Speaking of Lucas is Portuguese actually. So we are going to Italy is going to be playing Portugal May 31st in the quarterfinal or second group of the Euro 21. So we'll get to see Rafa Leao. Rafa Leao is going to be playing in that team. And we're probably going to see Skamaka. So let's see how they do in this tournament. Usually this tournament is a very good indicator of what we get to see in the future. Go, Antonio, go ahead.
I just wanted to talk about our budget because I think it's appropriate to kind of question where exactly how much money we have to spend. You hear some other teams, they kind of say, oh, we're going to go out and get a certain type of player, a certain type of quality player. And commit to that. But in Milan, so we've made the Champions League. We have a good, I would assume a good amount of money that we can spend. Nothing in no insane amount of money, but if you guys are thinking of a position to make a statement signing, wouldn't it be a number 9 or what do you guys think about that? Where would we spend the most money for what position in this summer?
Historically, it's always been that. It's always been the number 9. And it's kind of like every team. That's always the big statement, who your strikers are.
Right. And if that's the case, then I don't see that many other statement signings than Vlahovic right now. I don't really
no,
I mean
I disagree. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one. I mean that is not a statement signing, Antonio. Come on. A statement signing is Benzema. A statement signing is Suarez. That's a statement signing.
No, I agree. Those are really good players. But can we what type of are we linked with any of those players? I mean people that we're linked with. He's a young player with a lot of potential. And he scored 21 goals this year in Serie A. So I think he's the most ambitious prospect that we're linked with at the number 9. Belotti's 15 million, he's solid. But if we're gonna spend the most money on a number 9 player, then I don't really want to get Belotti in that case.
I don't really think that Belotti is a statement signing either, by the way. I think Belotti is a great signing, but a statement signing is
statement signing.
Depay, these kind of players, those are statement signings to me. Those are players. Yeah.
Can I ask you? So if we had a budget, let's say we have 50 to 60 million, which is an exaggeration. I don't know if we're gonna have this much money. But let's say we could target somebody within that price range. Who would you want for a number 9 position? That's maybe realistic. in that price range.
What was the budget? Can you repeat?
Like 50 to 60 million, because there's no way we'd ever be able to spend more than that.
Hmm.
There are not many strikers out there.
Yeah, like see, that's the thing. When I think of
I would go for Belotti. That's the first person. When you said realistic, right? I would go for Belotti and have Ibra and Belotti play those two roles during the season, and then use the rest of the money on other spots.
Yeah, I think I guess we just disagree on that. Like, I think that I mean, in my mind, I would go for, if we have like the ability to take the risk, I would want to take the risk on somebody with more potential personally. But I understand if you would like to save the money in that way.
But let's just think on this, just one more thing, and then I want you, Joey and St. Phil's to get it. But like, if you look at what's his name, Belotti's breakout season, and you compare it to Vlavic's breakout season, like, I think Vlahovic started a little bit earlier, right, at 20, but Belotti's breakout season was way more impressive. I mean, his goals were just freaking crazy. His assists, his shots, his showcase of talent was so impressive. But I would get Vlahovic if I mean, honestly, I could be completely wrong, guys. And Vlahovic comes in right away; he becomes the best in the world. But I would think Vlahovic would be good as like a third striker. You know, Vlahovic, Belotti, and Ibra. If I were to make a hierarchy, because we've had 3-4 big strikers in Milan in the past. We had Thomason, Shevchenko, Inzaghi, and I can't remember. Gilardino, I think. I can't remember. Milan has always had at least 3 big strikers in their past, in their successful years. So if I would bring in Vlahovic as the last guy and then develop. But I could be completely wrong about this, guys, because to me, Vlahovic is a bet. And sometimes you win bets, sometimes you lose bets. But anyway, I want Saif and Joey also to come in.
I have a suggestion. I don't know if it's realistic, not realistic, but just a thought. What about actually trying to resign Andre Silva? Maybe on the mindset that I have unfinished business at Milan. The club is in the Champions League. I think he would be a perfect player for the striker role. His hold-up play, he can also pass the ball. He's good on the air. I think if Milan tried hard to sign him, I don't see why not. That's just an opinion. It's not like it's going to surely happen. I love Andre Silva.
Yeah, and he's been performing so well at Frankfurt, and he looks great still in the red and black. It wouldn't be too hard for him to come back. The only name that I could think of in that price range that I don't even think I'd want from Italy would be Immobile. He still can perform at the club level. I don't trust him internationally, and if we go into Champions League, he doesn't seem to be a big game player. So in that sense, Vlahovic could be a guy. He looks very passionate. He's always stepping up. The last month, he's been on fire. Andre Silva, yeah, I think if I was to choose between the 3 of those, I'd even pick Andre Silva over Belotti because he's younger. He looks really good right now at Frankfurt. But now that we have a different team that might be better assisting and better tactic and better style of play, that's more suited towards that, maybe he would succeed.
And sorry to cut you off. It's not even that he's been bad for us. He actually played well with the minutes that he's been given. He was on fire in the Europa League, and he barely played any minutes in the Serie A. So I think it would be too harsh to call him a flop because he hasn't played. He hasn't played at all.
And before he left, right before I think he went to Frankfurt, he was scoring goals, and then I think we brought in Piontek or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Then we sent him out to Frankfurt, and he was still performing at that time, but we brought in a new striker.
He'll be available for like 35 million, something like that, which is manageable.
Anyone else wants to add something to this?
I don't really think. I think he's more of a right winger, but I'm thinking of like some potential like crazy signings that may be realistic. I know Mo Salah, I think might leave, and he's like,
ooh, that'd be nice.
and he's kind of older. So
all right.
great,
I mean,
but...
that to me is a statement signing, because you have Lucas saying, no, I think he said something about statement signing. I mean, those are statement signing guys. I mean, this is Milan. I know we've gotten used to being, top five, fighting for the Europa League spot. I know these 7 years have been poor, but this is bad. These 7 years do not represent this club. These 7 years have just been a bump in the road. Like we used to sign Ronaldinho. We used to sign, huge players. We used to sign big players. We used to, we can't be. I don't know.
The thing is, though, I don't know if our owners are going to make those types of signings, like those real statement signings. I hope that I don't see us doing it this year, to be honest, like those massive players.
Hey, guys, can any of you check what this is all about? The Curva Sul leader posted quite a scathing attack on Gigio. I would like to see what that is all about. Carlo Moretti, if you could tell us where. This coming season is the perfect time to spend without worries as fair play is not counted. I wish Elliot could splash the cash and get both Kane and Son. Ooh, those are two names that are very interesting. Kane, for example. I think, Kane would be a statement signing, I would say. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, for 100+ million, though. So it's very unrealistic.
So that is...
Sorry, Harry Kane, in my opinion, is the best striker in the world. So
maybe 100 million would be worth it for you.
More than worth it. I think he's a player. Is like 120, 130 million. He's the definition of a complete striker. He also had the most assists in the Premier League, I think, which is mad. When
wow,
play with
really?
Yeah, they play with. I think he has one of the most. I think he has the most assists in the league. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. I think Kane, his stats are great. I personally would rather sign Haaland for 75 million on the release clause next year.
Is that all he costs?
Next year he has a 75 million release clause.
Oh, fuck it, do it right away. Yes,
but we'd have to convince it'd be us. It'd be every team just pleading their case to him, and he has to choose.
But now I'm contradicting myself because earlier I said even if
but Haaland is so good, you can kind of get over it, He seems like his own man. In the interviews and stuff, he takes control of things. I don't think he'd be pushed around by Mino.
Yeah, I mean, 75 million.
Real asks for commissions like 20 million, 30 million. Like that 70 million is just the transfer. There are commissions for Areola 20, 30. I even read somewhere like Haaland's father gets another 15 million. What the fuck? Seriously.
Okay, yeah. No. So there you go. Ollie Oxenfree says Andre Silva is an option, but would he want to come back? Is the question, and Frankfurt wouldn't part with him cheap. He's a player that we had in our backyard, and we messed that up. We definitely messed that up. We signed players that have potential. Vlahovic has potential. Yeah. I mean, I agree on that. But is he going to be the leader of our attack already next year? I don't know about that. We signed Dino for 10 million, right? This is also not the Berlusconi era. True. It is true. This is very true. Sempre Milan just posted it. The Sempre Milan Twitter just posted something about the Curva Sul guy. I'm curious if you guys could check that out for me for a second. Antonio, you speak Italian, right?
Sì, posso parlare italiano.
All right, so if you can translate it for us, if you have it.
Sempre Milan on their Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, is this about the Curva Sud?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, is it? I think it's someone who commented. Is that on his Instagram? I see that one, but Oh, okay, yeah. One of the leaders of AC Milan's Ultras group has launched into a scathing attack on Donnarumma on Instagram. I don't think it's a physical attack. Like, I think it's just Instagram.
Yeah, of course.
And do you want me to translate
the
whole? It just says, like, I can see the picture of it online.
What does it say?
Okay, so it says, finalmente, so finally, we have returned to the Champions League, and we finally see a team, Milan, with like the right mentality, and we finally see us, like, the società or the club, making courageous choices. So that's definitely referring to the Donnarumma decision today. And then it goes, then the person says, and you finally, literally meaning washed your balls, which is like an expression, and then, or not washed, taken off your balls, which is, you guys know what that means. And certainly, for the good of Milan, we.
Does it say tolto fuori dalle palle? Is that what it says?
Yeah, it's ti sei levato dai coglioni.
Okay, so it means he has pretty much, he's out of the way.
Yeah.
In a pretty strong way. Like finally you're out of the way. That's what.
Yeah. For the good of the club, we've forgiven you more than once, it's saying. And then we've always given you second chances. Who wears our shirt, our like wonderful shirt, above all, like deserves or should act better. And he says you're just a little like ungrateful child, basically, to him. And then in life you grow up and you mature and you make choices like with your heart and with your head, and then that's basically throwing, he made the wrong decision. And then he says, people become men with responsibilities, and there are moments when you have to choose the right, or make the right choices for like the good of everyone. And then and then the picture kind of cuts off, but it says, and then there's you, who grew up with the team, and is then about, actually, yeah, I think there's a whole, like, they quoted the whole thing at the bottom of the article. It basically just ends with, and if no one is desperate for you, ask yourself two questions. No, we don't want to deal with your agent anymore. We don't want any more soap operas, no blackmail. Show some balls. That's what it says. Here is the evil of soccer, and long live the ultras who support the club, basically. So it's just a mess. I don't know. I wouldn't attack him, but I don't support him. So
I mean, attack him, obviously not physically. That's unacceptable. But Eastbourne says here, if Maldini didn't get respect from the Curva Sud, Gigio is nothing then compared to Maldini. I'm really curious to see if Maldini does join Juventus and what those games are going to look like under the Curva Sud. When Donnarumma is under the Curva Sud, goalkeeping under the Curva Sud, oh my God, that's going to be entertaining in its own self. See how
imagine the champion if we meet him in the Champions League, if he's in like Europe. And,
right.
That'd be crazy. I'm seeing more news about him going to Barcelona. So.
All right, Eastbourne actually was saying that it looks like that he might be going to Barcelona. Ter Stegen is going out. So it could be Barcelona.
I'm also seeing updates.
It's not realistic. Stegen,
you don't think so?
The Barcelona fans love him, and he's considered like a top 3 goalkeeper in the world. So they have no reason to replace him, and he's only 26 or 27. I also want to add something. I saw a video from Andrea Longoni, was his name, from Milan Hello or something like that.
Oh yeah, Longoni. Yeah.
He made a great point in the video when he said, when Maldini himself tries to contact you and tells you about renewals and puts an offer to you and tries to contact you, And there are reports that Donnarumma didn't even respond to that contract offer of 8 million. That by itself is an insult.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, to forget Milan, just Maldini, Mr. Milan himself. It's unacceptable.
I'm just looking at, like, I guess every hour there's like more news that comes out. I just found this like article that shows, someone else talked about it earlier, that like it's a picture of Magnon when he was like
Right.
back in 2015 wearing like a Milan sweatshirt.
Yeah, Eastbourne was also showing that.
Right.
Vic D says Milan can't keep patching tires and expect to do damage against a big team. Where is Milan patching tires? I'm not really sure about that, Vic D. What you mean? If you could expand on that. Fabrizio tweeted for okay. Fabrizio Romano, this incredible journalist, tweeted that Ter Stegen is staying in Barcelona. Lucas, Saif, you have a fan. The guy with Milan shirt knows his shit. Roy, you need to keep him in the show. Guys, Saif is always a guest on the show. He comes every time. Also, Antonio. This is the second time Joe has joined us. So it's awesome. Very happy. Nick Stanfa says, opinion of Luka Jovic possibly on loan as an option. And what you guys think about Luka Jovic? Give me an opinion.
It's kind of the same thing where we could probably get him on loan from Real because we have a good relationship. Him or Silva, I'd rather take Silva.
Okay. What about you guys?
Yeah, Jovic. He's not exciting like he used to be. Like back 2 years ago, I think Haaland today was Jovic back then. You know, he was the next big thing. He went to Real. His confidence got shot. He started off well with Frankfurt, but he didn't keep up that same energy, same goals. I think I wouldn't say he's finished, but his hype died down. He's not a player that we can count on every game. So, no.
Okay. Antonio, do you know about this player?
Yes, I do. Jovic, I thought I think he's interesting. I don't think he's bad. I don't really know if I would sign him. It would just be a loan. I mean, I don't know if we can work out a favorable deal with Real, but I don't know if I'd be able to trust him for a whole season. Like, I don't think he's going to deliver maybe to what we want him to. So it would be a risk. I don't know if I'd be happy, but I guess it's a possibility.
Gotcha.
So, Roy, I just wanted to ask, do you guys know, do you guys have like a predicted amount of time for when Milan will announce Magnon? Because he went to sign his contract today, but I haven't seen any updates since then.
It has to be maybe tomorrow, probably already this week for sure.
Yeah, I thought it would be today, but I didn't see anything, and I just was wondering. I usually it's like on the same day that they sign the contract, but
what time is it in Europe right now? Safe.
It's 11:20 here.
11:20. Yeah, probably tomorrow. We're already. I'm thinking. And then we're probably going to already hear what Donnarumma's situation by this week, maybe. I mean, not where his destination is going to be, but his relationship with Milan. I don't know when we are going to hear what his destination is going to be. I've heard some people say that he might play the Euros, without any teams. But I don't know about that. Now, as far as Jovic goes, guys, as I said, again, I don't really follow leagues in other countries, so I can't really talk about Jovic that much. I just know that he was a potential player for a Real Madrid potential player, but that didn't turn out. That didn't pan out. So that's as much as I can say about him. A Barca fan told me that Fabrizio denied the talks with Barca as pure media jabber. Yeah, probably is. Check this in suppose. If you're putting a link there, it's not going to show. The links don't show on YouTube. Is Fabio Borini available, and can we afford his man? Fabio Borini, what? Yeah, he's available for sure. That's for sure. I want Diaz and Vasquez from Madrid. Vasquez, what do you guys think about Vasquez? Do you think Vasquez could be a good option for Milan?
He's basically an improved version of Salamakers. I think Salamakers actually has potential to eclipse Vasquez. They are the same type of players, you know. But Vasquez really is not something special. We can get him for rotation purposes because he can also play at right back. But he's not the guy. Okay, we want to sign a right midfielder to challenge, to do well. We're gonna buy Vasquez. He's not that player. He's a rotation player at best.
Okay, all right. From what I remember, Vasquez seemed like a very interesting player. I think he would do well in Milan. I don't see why he wouldn't do well in Milan. He's a good option, I think, if it comes to that. Let's read a few more of these comments, guys, and then I want to finish off. I want to ask you guys what you thought. We're going to go through some of the players of the season, and I'm curious to know what you guys think about, thought about some of these players. So let's read here. Do you guys know about? Guys, I told you, like, League 2. Are you serious? Like, we're going for a League 2 player. Have you guys seen any? Have you seen this player?
Yes.
Antonio, you have seen this player. So what have you seen?
So at first I was excited because I thought he was like only like 17 or 18, and that was kind of like that would be justifiable. But he is, I think he's already 21. Like I think he turned 21 in May, so he's not like super young. Like Vlahovic is 21 and he's scoring 21 goals. But this guy's like a right winger. He's pretty small. He's very fast. He's good at dribbling, and he's left foot dominant. His left foot's his dominant foot. Yeah, and he looks like to be a quick winger, but I don't know, like you said, League 2, he hasn't proven himself really in a big league, and he's also but he's also pretty cheap. I know his team, Toulouse, I think they're third in League 2, and they're actually playing a playoff against Nantes on Thursday. I don't really know how I'm going to be able to watch that game because it's like I don't know where they're going to show the game. Like it's like a weird type. It's just the winner goes to League 1 basically. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. But yeah, he won Player of the Year for League 2. He seems like a solid player, but I don't know. It would be a big risk.
I did see that. I don't know. Again, we don't know if any of this is true or not, but that they are looking for a winger that is a left-footed player that plays on the right. So a player that cuts back in. Ikono would be great. Now, Ikono, I do know. I do know how Ikono plays.
He's available for like 20 million, 23 million at most. I think that's a very good price tag to get him.
How much?
20
million?
20 to
That's
20.
it?
I thought it was 25 to 30, but
no,
like
that's it.
Because also Lille are in a. I think I read reports that they're in a very bad financial situation now.
That seems pretty cheap.
That's why Yisborn was talking in the comments and he said like Lille players. I agree. There's so many Lille players that I like that we can get good deals on, and Icon is really good friends with Magnon, so that'd be cool if we got him as well.
Yeah, no, Icon is
even try for Yazici.
Yeah, Yazici. I like Yilmaz. He's really good, but he's 35, so. He's the striker. Roy, I have to head out because, I'm busy. But, yeah, thank you for having me on again.
Hey, thank you for being here, Antonio. Really appreciate it. Thank you, my man.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you again. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Ciao, Antonio.
Bye, guys.
Let's keep on reading here. It says, I would rather take I don't know. Iheanacho from the Premier League. Strikers are perfect and they've been adept to physicality. I don't know this striker. Do you guys know the striker?
Yeah. Kelechi Iheanacho. Yeah. He's pretty good. I like him.
Is he Milan material for you guys?
No.
Yeah, he went to Leicester like 2 or 3 years ago, and for the majority of the time he's been absolutely terrible. And he has only worked now because I don't remember exactly, but they changed the system where they play with 2 strikers or something like that, and that's when he plays well. But other than that, he misses sitters, He doesn't control the ball too well. He's not the most confident striker. He's not Milan material at all.
And his hype is really worn down. I mean, I remember hearing his name a lot back in when the World Cup was coming around, that he was going to be a big star for Nigeria.
Oh, he's Nigerian.
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm unfortunately, guys, I honestly cannot comment on Premier League strikers because I freaking will not watch the Premier League, even if you pay me to watch the Premier League, I will not watch the Premier League. And the reason why is because I used to love the Premier League. I used to watch the Premier League all the time. Guys, there was a time where I knew every single player, I knew every single team, the championship division as well. But I just got so tired of the arrogance and the overconfidence. And then every time like a good play happened on the field, hearing those commentators say, and this is why the Premier League is the best league in the world. It's like, I can't take it. I just couldn't take it. So
and
that's
also,
why
there are many clips of English media when we signed Ibrahimovic. They were all making fun. And what are you joining Milan for? They didn't even think about he's going to be able to score goals, inspire young players. They were all like, what kind of project? He's 38. He's terrible. He should have stayed in the US. And 1 year later, we're second in the Serie A.
Right,
and they also have a tendency to overhype their young English players, which I really hate.
And that was another reason why I just stopped watching the Premier, because the overhyping not only is annoying, but it's not even good. It's not even a good strategy to develop your players. The media ruins their own players. Every time England is in a World Cup, they're already going there with the star on the shirt. And it's just chill out.
Bring it back home. Bring it back home.
Bring it back home, right? And I no disrespect to the English. I do think the Premier League is the best league in the world. I think they are 5 steps ahead of the Serie A. So right now, maybe they would have a case in saying that the Premier League is a better league. But I just don't like the arrogance. You don't need to be so arrogant. That's all I'm saying. All right. So let's see. Let's see. And then, guys, I want to ask you, I want to read a few of these comments, and then I'm going to ask you guys what you think about certain players. So, okay, Jovic, we went through Jovic. Did you guys see Bonaventura congratulate the team on Instagram? I'm sure he did that because Bonaventura is an excellent person. And it would have been nice to see him. Okay, so Adil, yeah, he's only 10 million. Maybe you can bring him in and then just, rotate him as a player, maybe develop him, send him out on loan. I'm okay with that. Because Reno's okay, so Gattuso to Fiorentina. What do you guys think about that? You think it's a good fit for him?
I love the new owners. I've been watching IFTV, so they always talk about Rocco Commisso and Joe Barone, and I think this is a perfect fit. They got a nice, young, hungry team that I think would fit well for Gattuso, and he would actually have the backing of the board for once, which might help him.
Say, what do you think? Are you happy for Gattuso?
I'm super happy for the guy. As ridiculous as it sounds, I was heartbroken for Napoli when they didn't make the top 4 just because of Gattuso.
Yeah.
He misses on a point with us. He misses on I think also a point or 2 points with Napoli when he has done exceptionally well with them. It's a shame that De Laurentiis is a piece of shit. He always goes on public and criticizes Gattuso. I think that's terrible strategy. Laird, how are you?
How are you, man?
What's up?
Good to see you. And how are you, our new friend, yeah?
How's it going, man?
That's Joseph. Laird, do you remember when we had the Super League podcast?
Yes, man.
And there was that guy that said he wanted to punch you.
Punch him, yeah.
He's coming, man. Slowly, he's coming to punch
you. he's getting closer. No, but this is Joseph. No, awesome.
Oh, nice to meet you, man. Hi, everyone. And today is a great day, man, for AC Milan. It's a happy day.
Ah, yes. We've been discussing, of course, Donnarumma.
Oh, man, we got rid of Donnarumma, which is a great goalkeeper, a less great person. And to win trophies, you need a great person, first of a great talent. And it's really hard to go to Maldini, which gave everything to this club, never considered to ask money to the club, and ask that amount of money with no reason, basically. Maldini won everything with AC Milan and never went at the end of the year and say, I want 10, 12, 15 million.
Right.
He just wanted to be part of the history of AC Milan.
And Maldini had a case. Maldini would have actually had a case.
Maldini had a case to go at the age of 30 and say, I'm the best defender in the world. I'm going to finish my career, so I want 10 million a year. I want 6 million a year. And Maldini never done that. And the player that wanted more money in AC Milan, Shevchenko, Kaká, they always made it in a way that they can get sold and the club can make money because they were kind of recognizing the value of the club and how they helped them to grow. Donnarumma was like, I don't give a shit about you guys. I am the best. You didn't help me to become the best, so you don't deserve any money from me. And Raiola he was doing. A lot of people blame Raiola. I think he's doing his job. Of course, he's not a reliable person to be around, and I wouldn't do business with him. But that's the way it is. And that's it. We have a great goalkeeper now. And I love the fact that he came straight away the day after to AC Milan, signed the contract, not even questioning the money, really believes in the project. And I think he's a good guy. And of course, he's going to make mistakes. But if he gives everything for the club, who cares, man? AC Milan never had the best goalkeeper in the world. We always had a good goalkeeper, never the best one. And we won everything. So that's completely fine.
And like earlier, I was saying something that I have not said all season. I've said that I'm tired of Raiola. I don't want any more of his players. Like right now, I don't want Romagnoli to be in the team anymore. I don't want him to be in the team anymore.
I hope Romagnoli finds a club and we can make some money, or at least we can do the trick we did with Juventus did with Barcelona, Pjanic and Arthur. So we give Romagnoli, let's say, and we put it on the balance 30 million. And we get another player for 30 million on the balance, but it's an exchange. And that's it. We make how they call it, plus valenza, and we can actually buy another player and move some money.
Yeah, and I did see today that Caldara might be coming back to Milan.
Oh, he's going to come back, and probably he's going to go straight away on loan, some clubs, some small clubs, or mid-table clubs. But yeah, Romagnoli, exchange Romagnoli, Insigne, I don't mind, for example.
Yes.
That would be great. They need a defender because I think Koulibaly is going to Everton, or they're going to sell Koulibaly for 50 million or something like that. So they need a defender. I think Romagnoli is a good defender for the Serie A. And Insigne probably is at that point that is thinking, do I want to stay at Napoli forever or go to a club and try to win something or different place? So that can be an option to convince him. But if it's not Insigne, you can exchange Romagnoli with some players from Barcelona, from Atletico Madrid, from Juventus. I don't mind. Important is he's a young player or 25, 26 years old, and he's a squad player for AC Milan.
Remember when they were talking about we were talking about Romagnoli, Bernardeschi. We were talking about that. Maybe that could be an option. Maybe.
As a quality player, I wouldn't mind. The problem is Bernardeschi on 7 million, so I wouldn't give 7 million to Bernardeschi. So, but I would give 7 million to Insigne. Insigne is a 20 goal a season. He creates a lot of chances, assists. He can play in the middle like a number 10 or on the left side. And he's a national team player. He wants to play the next World Cup, so he's going to give everything to the pitch. He has a lot of experience. He's 29, of course, but for sure he can do
Gianmaria, come in. Sorry, Gianmaria, come in, yeah. Gianmaria.
Where is Gianmaria?
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay.
7 million would be absolutely crazy for Bernardeschi, but he could be a good option. I do agree with you. Insigne, Insigne is top. Insigne.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind, for example, an exchange. Romagnoli, Rabiot as well, because I think Rabiot as an holding midfielder with Kessie can play really well, I think the guy has a talent. He has a pace. It's quite good. And Roy is gone. Let's see if he's coming back. But what do you think, guys? What is the best option to exchange Romagnoli with? What is a guy you were thinking?
Definitely not Bernardeschi.
Sorry, my bad. Hold on.
Do you want me to send the link to John and you can keep?
Yeah. Do that for me.
I'll do it. No worries. I asked them what they think about exchanging Romagnoli with some players.
Hey, Laird, I have to leave in literally a minute because I'm busy. But take over and just go ahead and finish off the stream. Okay. So I'll be here for just 2 more minutes and then just take over. John is going to come in. You guys do whatever you want and.
Yeah, I'm going to say like 20, 25 minutes because I have to do so. I'm going to close and wrap it up and ask a few questions.
Perfect.
Invite John in a second. But yeah, you guys can say whatever you want about the... Can I put the link on the comments?
Yeah, put it on the comments, yeah.
Let's see. Should work. Yeah, that's perfect. What do you guys think about exchanging Romagnoli with someone?
I mean, I would much more rather take Rabiot than Bernardeschi. I don't think the guy's on that level where he was supposed to reach in Fiorentina. And I know it sounds unrealistic, but if Juventus want to get rid of Dybala, because I would take Dybala in a heartbeat. Maybe offer Romagnoli plus 30-35 million for Dybala. That could be an option.
Yeah.
Other than that, Juventus players, I don't think there are many that I would take. Most of them are overpaid and average, to be honest.
All right, guys. Sorry, guys. I gotta go. Jan, welcome back, my friend. Guys, Forza Milan. Have fun. I will see you guys probably tomorrow. For the final of the Villarreal. Maybe we'll do a watch along for that. But guys, unfortunately, my time here is done. I have real life shit to get to, so I will see you guys during the week. So ciao, arrivederci a tutti, Forza Milan.
Bye-bye.
So, what about you, Joseph? What do you think?
I'm seeing a lot of great comments from the comment section. I mean, something that I really was upset about last year is that we didn't get Chiesa. And Juventus went out and bought 2 right wingers, and so that really upset me. If there was a way that we could get send Romagnoli for cash, plus cash for Kulusevski or Chiesa, I think that's our best option. Dybala would be great, but I feel like we have better options options instead of paying so much for Dybala for that same position.
I think Dybala can be an option. Ciao, John. Sorry for we're talking about Romagnoli exchanging with someone. I think Dybala can be an option because he earns a lot of money. Juventus wants to get rid of him. He's not renewing the contract, and if no big club is interested on him, he's thinking maybe Milan is a great option because I can be the number 1 there. I can still be in Champions League and try to win Serie A. And if he likes Italy, if he's still feeling good to live in Italy, it's not a bad change. I'm sure AC Milan is not going to give him a higher contract. Maybe he's going to give him the same contract, which is something Çalhanoğlu or I would say Donnarumma was asking for, something like that. So I wouldn't mind that because he's a player that can give a lot to AC Milan. But you need to ask if Pioli wants a player like him, and I wouldn't mind giving them another 10 million and how you call him, Romagnoli. But anything, I don't think Romagnoli, you can get cash from Romagnoli. So the only thing you can get a functional player to the project. What do you think, John?
Regarding Romagnoli?
Yes.
There's a couple of teams that I'd probably, a couple of players I'd probably swap him with. Maybe send him to Fiorentina. He did well under Gattuso, so send him to Fiorentina plus cash for Vlahovic. I also think I like the Dybala option. It's funny that it's come out today from La Repubblica because earlier on in the group chat I was saying that I have a funny feeling Milan are going to end up signing Dybala, and then it comes out on La Repubblica that we're interested in him. I think that's the perfect replacement for Hakan, and it's a big gift for Pioli for all the hard work he's done to take one of the best players in Serie A. I know he hasn't been great this season because he hasn't really featured much, but he's such a phenomenal talent. And it'd elevate us to the next level.
Yeah, I think it's a great option for Juventus as well, because with that, let's say Juventus can get 20 million cash and he can get a player, and he can put on the balance 50 million plus Valenza, and AC Milan as well can put a 30 million with Romagnoli. So I think it's a great option if Dybala wants to move to AC Milan. That's the only thing, in my opinion. I don't think, and I hope Gigio Donnarumma sign for Juventus, because I want to see him in San Siro shitting himself against the Curva Sud. I want him really to play in for Juventus, so we can show him what he's missing. And I was really happy today because for a long time I never seen the Curva Sud being so close to the ownership and being on the same track. And yeah, I think that was the best decision. People are saying we should have made some money with Donnarumma. The good thing, we didn't pay him, so we didn't lose any money. At least we didn't make money while we didn't lose money. And the other guy is a good keeper, 15 million, but 3 million a contract. He's gonna ask for a renewal at the age of 30, so it's perfect. He's a 10-year guarantee player, so I'm really happy. You want to add something about Donnarumma, John? What do you think? You've been talking probably a lot about this.
I'm glad that piece of shit has left the club. Sorry, mind my French. I can't. He's burnt all the bridges. The Capo has just posted on Instagram. I don't know if you've seen it, guys, with a message to Donnarumma basically saying that go buy your fancy cars, go buy your houses. You're a little boy, basically. Everything that they've said before, but they've just he's reiterated it. I'm not bothered where he goes. I'd like him to go to Juve. I'd like for him to, like you said, shit himself in the San Siro when he's underneath the Curva Sud. Yeah, I'd love it if he goes there. I'm not bothered. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I didn't lose sleep when Kaká left. I didn't lose sleep when Shevchenko left. I'm not going to lose sleep when a 22-year-old kid leaves just because he wants more money and he's won nothing with us.
No, definitely. Oh, I forgot about this, man. It's happened 2 months ago and still people are talking about. It's old news, man. No one cares anymore.
And he said something like they needed.
No one cares. People are looking more at where Donnarumma is going to play than who won the Serie A.
No, he said something like Milan needed help from other clubs to make the top four. He seemed to forget what Inter did when they first returned to the Champions League. Lazio bottled it. Lazio could have easily finished in the top four, but they didn't. The season after, they qualified to the Champions League because Nainggolan scored in the 83rd minute. So I don't think he has the right to speak about stuff like this.
Man, they got in Champions League the first time with 68 points. We got in Champions League with 79 points, man.
Exactly.
In a season when, I don't know, we were playing every 3 days and no people in the stadium. A weird season. All the difficult part you can get in the season was in this season, and we made it. So I think this team is going on the right track. Hopefully we're gonna secure the top four next season, invest some money this summer and get some great players. I feel like in 2 years, if we do the right thing and we are a bit lucky, we can be on the track and become like a business similar to Man City or Bayern Munich. When you buy 50 million player, but you never spend for 100 million player, you keep the salaries on control. The stadium is always full. You're always challenging to win something every season. Doesn't matter if you win it or not. And you become a rich club as well. Mm-hmm. So and I think in 2-3 years, if we are lucky and we get the top four every season, we're going to achieve that result. I don't think Inter is going to achieve that result if they keep doing it in the way they're doing it, because they have a lot of depth. And if they don't win, Inter is an environment. If you don't win, people are going to get sick and tired and leave.
And thanks to the Inter Milan fan coming in the comment section on the AC Milan fan podcast. It shows how much you care about us. Just keep it up. the world's more bothered about Milan finishing second. They are about you finishing top. So enjoy it. Enjoy the Covidetto.
I cannot blame them, man. We do high quality content, man. It's not it's not their fault, man. We talk serious shit here. So I wonder what they talk on Inter podcast. They're still talking about the Scudetto they won this season 2 months ago. But anyway, man.
And they couldn't even beat Juventus.
Yeah. They had one job to do. The second part of the season, they had one job: beat Juventus. So all Italy would be happy. They didn't do that, man. They were still celebrating the Scudetto they won 2 months before. Clearly it shows that they are cheap. They are not used to win. They're still celebrating. Anyway, I was a bit, how can I say? The Twitter Milan gave too much importance to this Donnarumma thing, man.
Exactly.
He's just a keeper, man. Since when a keeper is important in the football? I mean, I grew up that no one gives a shit about the keeper. That was the last part of the when Juventus bought Buffon for that amount of money after selling Zidane. I was like laughing at them. I'm like, I mean, yes, Buffon, he was a great player and he played for 20 years after, for sure. But come on, man. That's not a football, I believe. I believe the keeper is an important player, but it's not. It doesn't deserve more than three posts on Twitter. That's it. Whatever who you are, 3 posts. The fourth post should be like, okay, who's our number 10? When Chala is leaving.
Yeah, and like I said before in this video, it takes away from the brilliance of the signing of Maignan. We should have been speaking about Maignan and his improvement over the last few years, and how he came from the PSG academy, and how he has the most clean sheets. We should have been talking about him, but instead we're talking about a guy that thinks he's the next Buffon when he didn't even win anything with us, and he's only cares about the money, not the success. So I won't lose sleep over him.
No, I'm so happy, man. If you get rid of Romagnoli as well, I don't need to see the Raiola anymore around Milanello. No. He's gonna come just if he's gonna beg us to get a player or something like that, but not anymore. That's great, and hopefully, as I said before, John wasn't here. I really like the attitude of Mike. He came straight away, man. He won the league, and he said, "You know what? I want to play for AC Milan. I'm going to a big club. I cannot wait." He's doing things like, I cannot wait to wear that shirt, man. And that's the type of players we need.
The thing is, the deal's been supposedly sealed for like a couple of months, depending on what Gigio did. So imagine you've just won a league title. You're arguably one of the best keepers in Europe, and you're still willing to wait for Milan to come for you, even though you know you're their second choice in a way. Gigio was still our first, and that's his second choice, and he still wants to come to the club, and he's coming for 3 million when our last goalkeeper was earning 6 million. It's incredible what he's done. And there's a picture, I don't know if anyone's seen it, that's just come out on Twitter. It's an Instagram post from Rabiot in 2015, and he's taking a selfie with Maignan. And Magnon's wearing an AC Milan hoodie. So he's always been a fan of us. 6-7 years ago, he was a fan of us. When Gigio was making his debut, he was wearing an AC Milan hoodie himself. It's nice to see, and I'm really happy about this signing. Very happy about it.
Man, he's that age, 25. When he was a kid, AC Milan was a great club, man. He was like, I dreamed to play for AC Milan. He's that generation. And as I say, man, I'm so sick and tired of people. I'm staying, I'm not staying. I remember the last summer, AC Milan was asking Calabria to accept some deals for other clubs, and he said, "No, I want to stay to AC Milan. I want to prove that I'm good enough for this club. Let me stay." The same Kessie, a lot of rumors of him moving to another club, and he said, "No, I want to stay. Give me another chance. I want to stay another year. I think I'm good enough for this club." That's the type of player I want, man. Mm-hmm. That's the way you win. There's no other way we can win. We don't have the money. Forget about that. We don't have the money. We need people that really love the club, to be AC Milan fan. Yeah. You guys, if you want to add anything, because I'm talking a lot. Sorry. And let me see if there is any comment. If you guys are interested in any comment.
I think for me, Maldini, I don't know if you guys agree, but Maldini's next most important job is the management's next most important job is getting Kessie and Calabria renewed. That should be the next one for me. Get it done. I don't want to be in this same situation. Calabria, obviously, he'll renew. No questions asked. Kessie, I think he'll ask for a salary increase, but this season he's deserved it. He's one of the best midfielders in the league, so give it to him. But that needs to be done. We don't want to be in this situation this time next year where Kessie's about to leave, Calabria is about to leave, and we're hating on these players for putting us in this predicament. And if they do want to leave this summer, then let's get it done. Let's get him out of the club. Let's get it sorted. Same with Romagnoli. I have no issue with him staying if he accepts our demands. Like, same with Donnarumma. No issue with him staying if he accepts our demands. He doesn't come to us and say, I want 6-7 million. It's like, we're offering you 4. That's it. Take it or leave it. And if he wants to stay at this club, then I'm happy, because I still think he's got something left to give. When teams like Atletico Madrid are coming in for you, who Simeone prides his team on his defence and how good he's defensive. So if he's wanting to add someone like Romagnoli into the defence, there must be still something there that other people are seeing. And maybe our judgment's just clouded a bit because he's gone through a rough patch, and now because he's a Raiola client, or because Tomori and Chiesa have been fantastic. But if all these top clubs, Barca, Atletico, Juve, still a top club, want a player like Romagnoli, then maybe we should be considering keeping him, because we can't go into next season with Chiesa, Tomori, Gabbia and Kalulu as our centre-backs. Not in the Champions League, so I wouldn't be against it, but it has to be on our demands, not his.
Well, I honestly think that he's going to leave because he's not going to accept a bench role. I think he's good enough to start in a team that plays in a different style than ours, because we play with a high line and he's too slow for that. I think a team like Atletico would take him because they play defensive, and defensively he's a good player.
I think he'd partner well. We haven't really seen him properly with Tomori. I think he might partner well with him. But he doesn't have to accept a bench role. He has to fight for his place, like Calabria did with Conte. Calabria was sat down on the bench. He took his chance, and then he became unmovable, and he became a fantastic player. Kessie, like you said, he was on his way out, and then he said, no, I'm staying, I'm fighting for this club, and now he's the best midfielder in Serie A. Romagnoli's at a perfect age now where he's about to hit his prime, and if we can secure him, even if it's on an extra 2 years added on or an extra 3.
No, it's. I believe he's leaving because he wants to get back to the national team, and he needs to play constantly. He needs a team that doesn't have a lot of competition, so he can play, be more relaxed, and play more often. I'll see him not accepting Atletico and Barcelona because he's gonna have a lot of challenge. I really believe he's gonna stay in Italy, in a club that is gonna give him this, the consistency to play.
Sorry, guys, I'm going to have to go, but it's been a pleasure.
Don't worry, man.
Speak to you soon.
They both left.
I guess we want to read some comments. I don't know.
Yeah. So, what do you think about Romagnoli? Could he be a possible?
Sorry, guys. By accident.
At Fiorentina? Yeah, I could see that. I could see him going there, and now that Gattuso is there, that could work. Yeah. I don't know how much we could get for him, but I could see that working. And I just, once again, you weren't here before. I apologize if there's any noise. They're re-shingling my roof, so there's loud banging. So I try to mute as often as possible.
No, it's going back. Lucas gave some. I saw some players, Lucas and Andrea D. They gave some names. So I wanna explain a bit what I think about all these young, not well-known players coming from the league, the Serie B, the French Serie B, or some small, I say Serie A's or whatever leagues. Milan is in that position now that it's we already have those type of players. We already have great perspectives, and we bet on them. And thank God everything went well. We bet on Kalulu, and he's a solid player. Calabria is young. Kessie, Benacer, Tonali. I think Auge is valuable. He needs to grow. Diaz is a great prospective. Selemacher, Gabbia. We have a lot. Now it's time not to bet anymore. Now it's time to go for some, sure deal. And it's hard. It's really hard. But more you go for something that is sure, and it's harder to get it right. And you need more money. So if they buy the player, Lucas or other people were suggesting as a bet, let's say, let's try this guy for 10 million. After they bought the strong right wing, the strong striker, and the strong number 10, I completely agree. But I don't want a number 10 that is a bet, because it's such a key position for our game. It's so important. It's like we didn't win against Cagliari because our number 10 shit himself.
Exactly.
That's simple as that. That's such a difficult game. You need a world-class number 10, a world-class right wing that dribbles a player, that creates a chance, that drags the team to the win. Because the other ones are shitting themselves. Or a striker, like Ibra or another good striker. You cross the ball and he finds a chance and we win 1-0 and it's done everything. A young guy is not going to make it in that situation. He's going to struggle. He's going to suffer.
Yeah.
So we need a proper world-class striker, number 10 or whatever. It can be a deal type of Aguero. Barcelona did that deal. So he's a 33 with a free agent. Or he can be a guy that has been scoring 20 goals in Serie A for the last 5 years, which is can be Immobile or can be Belotti or whatever you guys. Or he can be a 23 years old guy that is actually killing it and everyone wants him and you can see he has a potential. These are the three profiles. But you need to go for someone like this, not anymore a young guy or someone that it can be good or he has a potential. That is a type of deal you do later when you cover these problems. That's my opinion.
This would have been the right approach if we didn't qualify for the Champions League. I think if we would have made the Europa League, we would have taken more chances on young players, trying to develop them. But now we have surpassed this stage. We're in the Champions League, our favorite competition. We're back. We're not going to last in the Champions League. We're going to get embarrassed if we're going to continue on the road of signing young players, expecting them to destroy big teams. It's not going to happen. So I think this summer is going to show the true intentions and the true plans about our management, about our owners. But I fully trust Maldini to get the job done. Guys like Ben Nasser, Theo Hernandez, dealing with the Donnarumma situation perfectly. Maldini did that very well. So I trust in him to take this team forward. And I think we're not going to make massive signings this summer, but we're going to make smart signings that will even elevate us to the next level. So I'm positive.
And I'm sure a lot of the money is going to be spent on just securing the team that we already have and making sure that we keep a hold of the players that we want.
Yeah, and I think the money they save with Donnarumma's contract, which is like 12 million, all those money are going a bit to KC, a bit to Benacer, a bit to Theo, a bit to Calabria. So they're going to move from a 2 million a year contract or 2.5 million. They're going to a 4 million a year. So we're going to have, we're going to spend that money. We had to spend with Donnarumma, but we're going to spend it for 5 players to give them more money, which they deserve it. And give them more bonuses and give it a chance maybe to grow their contract if they win and they secure financial success. And there is 2 things, going back to the Donnarumma situation, that made me think a lot. The first one was when Ibrahimovic signed the contract with AC Milan without his agent. I don't know if you heard the news when he signed the second contract this year. Well, he signed it without Mino Raiola. So basically, AC Milan say, "Do you want to sign next year contract? You have to sign it without Raiola involved."
Yeah.
And the second thing is when the Curva Sud went to talk with Gigio Donnarumma, saying, "You signed the contract, or you're not playing with Juventus." So it means that people from the Curva suit, which they are really they know journalists, they know people inside. They knew he was thinking not to sign a renewal, so they thought, okay, this guy is going to leave at the end of the season, so I don't want him to play against Juventus. But thank God he's a professional player. He did the job at the end of the thing. I don't think he's a snake or something like that. I think he's just a kid. He needs to grow up.
He's ungrateful. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's a kid. He really thinks he's good.
And people make the mistake of always blaming Raiola. People have to understand that Donnarumma is not a kid anymore. He's 22. He's been playing with us for like 5 years now, maybe 6.
Yeah.
And he should have learned from what happened first in 2017 when all the fans hated on him and threw fake dollars. He should have learned from that. But he didn't. He did not. And good riddance. Seriously, I'm not going to miss him. We have a great backup goalkeeper that's going to come. And I'm positive that he's going to do well because he's very good.
That's great, man. Joseph, where are you based, man?
I'm in Colorado right now.
Oh, that's good. And you are in Romania, yeah?
Yes, in Romania.
That's completely the opposite, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm in London at the moment, so
Kind of right.
how's life in the United States?
It's a little less hectic the last couple months, but you know, masks are coming off. People are getting vaccinated. Things are getting back to normal, so that's good.
How's Romania? It's getting better? Normal life?
Yeah, it's getting much better. Like now, we're not obligated to wear masks in the open street, only when you go to shops or go to the metro station. And also, they've taken away that at 10 o'clock night, you have to be home. Now you have the freedom to go outside whenever you want. So people are getting vaccinated. Some fans are back at the stadiums. And I think that's a very good step.
Yeah, man, I cannot wait to be in San Siro.
Yeah,
and
me too.
do a live from San Siro. That would be great. With
I
my
have to go to a Champions League game next season. I have to.
I'm probably going to do the season ticket this summer. I'm gonna buy the season ticket, even if I live in London. I would think that the season ticket to the Curva Sud should be around £300, so $350, $360. Which, if you go and watch 6 games, is worth it. If you go and watch Milan Inter, Milan Juventus, Milan Napoli, Milan Roma, Milan Lazio, and Milan whatever is Atalanta, you go there for the six big team, it's still worth it because it's gonna be like £50 or £60 or £40 a game, which is worth it.
Yeah.
Flying from London to Milan is like 2 hours, and usually it's like £20 or $20, whatever. It's really cheap. And I don't need an hotel because I go there in the afternoon, go to the stadium, watch the game, get a Red Bull, go to the airport, get another flight in the morning early, and I'm in London again. So I cannot wait, man, to have that.
I'm so envious of you guys that you're in Europe right now, that you can go and that's a big travel obligation for me, setting so much time aside just to go see a game. I'd love to, though.
Come and live in Europe, man. What are you doing in the United States?
I ask myself that a lot.
What do you do, if I can ask, as a job?
Right now, I'm a student going into sports management, and I kind of want to go into data analytics for soccer. That's super interesting, man.
That's nice.
So I'm hoping that I can keep going down that route.
Oh, man, you're going to get a job straight away here. Everyone is investing on that. And especially in England. In England, you can get a job like this straight away. There's a lot of investment, a lot of money around the Premier League and the Championship. They have a lot of money. They're always looking for young, talented that wants to work in the industry. And,
I'd love to do that. And I'm trying to learn Italian. I'm not that great at it yet, but at least I'd be able to understand people in England a little bit easier.
Do you know the video game Football Manager?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Basically, they use a proper system of data analytics. They have a lot of scouting around the world. And you know, the system they use to build the game is used by a lot of sport directors in Premier League, in Serie A. So Maybe you can work for them. You never know.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I remember seeing a picture. I think it was Mourinho on his laptop, and he's playing Football Manager.
Yeah, no, it's insane. And yeah, it's a good. Do you write about football as well?
No, not currently. I comment on videos. I say I want to punch Roy in the face sometimes.
Listen, I was so upset as well with the Super League. I was like, thank God I knew Roy, and I knew a bit the way Americans see sport is different from Europeans. So I understood his point of view. I understood a lot of point of view from United States, you know. But as a European, grow up in Europe and watching football, that system is never going to work in Europe. And it's impossible to explain to someone. And I'm glad you from United States, you understood that, because it's impossible to explain it, actually, because the relegation and promotion system is everything in life for Europeans. It's like you have to own it to get something. And football is the same. And small clubs are so important for the community.
It makes the whole season, especially at the end, so important at the top and the bottom, even the top of the lower league. It just makes it so more exciting. It's much different than if you lost every game, you just stay in the same division and you get a draft the next year at a better. Nah, I don't like that.
Yeah, and football is about relative success, which is life as well. So for Atalanta was like winning the Scudetto is a relative success, and football is like this, and life is like this. We're not gonna be the president of the United States or Elon Musk, but we're gonna have our relative success in our life. So that's how football it is. The top four, not getting relegated, going in Europa League, managing, I don't know, to sell a football player for 50 million, to grow from a young player to a established player and sell it to a big club. That is a success for some clubs. So that's the beauty of football. And creating a league, just inviting people, that's so snob, man, so posh.
I think a lot of American owners, no offense, no, really no offense, I think they treat football clubs as franchises. Like they're doing some things like the NBA, you know? No relegation. You can get super players. One season you can be at the bottom. You get 2 or 3 super players, and boom, you're at the top. You're competing for the championship. I actually wouldn't have been surprised if they also decide to change the name of the football clubs in the future. That's something that was on the table. Seriously, I'm not kidding. They would have done that.
They can change the location. As soon as you have a closed league, you don't need to play in Italy anymore. Yeah. You can play in South America. You can play in Shanghai. You can play in Tokyo. You don't need anymore. It's a closed league. They own the TV rights. They own the clubs. They own the league. They own the referees. They own the referees. They can change the rules because it's their league.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's like who plays the game is organizing the game. That is crazy. I'm against UEFA. I believe that the European Union as a government should impose that every 5 years another company propose a plan for another league every year. So if another company, an outsider like UEFA, propose a league with a different solution, but with relegation and promotion, and the clubs accept it and they voted it, they like it, UEFA is out. Come back after 5 years for a better plan. For more, if you are bringing more money to the club, if you're bringing more sponsorship or other thing, but at least make it open. I'm okay with that, and that should come from the government, not from the clubs. The clubs that have that power. Going back to the Super League, I think the problem was Florentino Perez and Barcelona. They were the problem. They had a billion debt. They don't know where to find those money, and so they called these American owners. They really don't know what's going on in Europe about football, and they convinced them, let's go and do this Super League. On paper, it looked really great for them. They didn't realize they completely got it wrong.
One thing that's really interesting, Stan Kroenke, I think he's at Arsenal. He also owns the Rams. They were in St. Louis for a very long time. He decided I could make more money putting them in LA.
I was really going to say this. Yeah.
That is crazy. If they do that to AC Milan, you are dead, man. Have you
AC
seen
Milan in
people there
Tokyo.
in the Cuba suit? They are criminals, man. They are not. They are not normal people. You're dead. They come wherever house you are in California, and they kill you, man, if you do something like that. Don't even think it.
Over here in America, I was showing my mom a video of Tiziano Crudeli, him reacting to the Atalanta goals, and she said to me that you never see anything like that in America, and sports commentators or anything. And she said he's a national treasure. And I completely agree. You don't get that sort of emotion for sports in this country that you would over there. And I think it's kind of a shame. I mean, you go to a stadium here for a football match, you get like chant. You don't have chants. You don't have people in unison singing together as a unified force. It's just a bunch of individuals standing around watching a game.
Taking selfies.
Or think about the Super Bowl, no? I've seen the Super Bowl, but not the Super Bowl actually game. I've seen the preparation, the people before going to the Super Bowl. And these people are doing the barbecue, chilling, preparing themselves. You should see me when AC Milan is playing a Champions League final. Oh. I cannot sleep for a week. I cannot eat for a week. I'm an horrible person with my parents. I'm like, I don't want to do a barbecue before the game, man. I'm like suffering more than the players. I don't know if you felt the sufferance we had the week before the game against Cagliari. I couldn't manage to organize a barbecue before.
Yeah.
So just imagine how differently we live football, and the way people behave in the stadiums in Europe. They swear to the player. They are like really upset. No one is thinking to get a hot dog during the game. It's like, it's religion, man. It's almost close like religion, maybe more sometimes. For some people, for me, for example, which I don't care a lot about religion, football is more important.
And I just love the European model, how each town has its own characteristics, their own sort of mentality of how they play or what they believe in. You go to Naples, it's completely different than Turin or Fiorentina or Florence, sorry, or go to London, it's different. I mean, you go into Germany, every country, there's these little towns, they have their team, they all get behind it. It's beautiful to me. Instead of just having like 10 or 20 across basically the same size in the US as compared to Europe, you don't get the same sort of fan base. Everybody, it's not the same.
No, it's you guys speak a bit Italian, or?
I can speak a bit Italian, but I understand. I think I understand Italian perfectly.
Okay.
I try to listen to Italian rap to learn, but I'm not the best at. I can maybe understand. I'm not very good at then producing it and speaking.
It's really hard, man, because Italian rap is a lot of slang. So that's a way to master Italian, not to start learning. It's like really, really complicated, but it's a good try. No, if you want to work for AC Milan, I think speaking Italian is the biggest quality you need to have there, because if you want to work for Italian, German, Spanish, or French club, whatever, you need to understand the culture a lot, and you have to speak their language. And that's a limitation that we have on taking big managers, international managers. It's basically impossible for a club like AC Milan to get a German like Klopp or Tuchel or a big.
Even with Ranić last year, it was kind of a concern if he would be able to. He was already like learning Italian back in, I think, December when the news broke, but that was a big concern for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's really difficult. On the other side, a manager like Pioli, he has a limitation. He doesn't speak English, so how is he going to explain Gareth Bale if he wants to come to AC Milan? How is he going to move tactically? Or a big player who speaks English or speaks German, Robert Lewandowski. Let's say we have the money, we really want to get Robert Lewandowski. How our manager can talk with him and explain him what we want? How he's going? So that's a limitation for the league, is a limitation for the Italian football, and they need to solve this straight away. I believe managers like Gattuso, Pirlo, they speak English. They need to get more. They need to invest more behind them because they can bring value to the club. And I hope the next managers, they need to speak English and at least another language between German and Spanish. That's the way to grow as a club internationally. Yeah.
One thing that I really was intrigued by, I saw when I was watching, I think it was a Roma match, that they have like a Roma academy that you can start up. And I was wondering, why doesn't AC Milan try and do this to look for talents in North America, South America, set up little academies? My hometown where I grew up in New Jersey, they now have a Juventus academy in Sparta, New Jersey. So why? That's one thing that I really think that it would help. It grow the sport, grow the fan base, and it might even increase the talent pool that we have.
No, it's true, and I think the United States has a lot of talent. The range 13, 17 years old is an insane talent, because what the United States done really well, I think, is the sport on the school system. So kids from the age of 13 to 17, they do a lot of sport, and the schools helps them to do a lot of, at least in good schools and good environments. Of course, in poor part of the United States is getting really hard and everything, but in order to they invest a lot. And you have these kids, they are athletes, they are really fast, they know what they eat, they really prepared, they are athletes, but they don't know a lot about tactical and technical. They can improve. And if you get those players from the young age, like Alphonso Davies, for example, they got him really young. He's still a lot to learn tactically, but he's so fast. He's technically prepared. He runs. It's a good guy at the end. He's not there asking for 12 million because he's Alphonso Davies or because he won a Champions League. So I think it's a great market to go and get young players and put on the academy. The problem is, I think, documents or the fact that they are young and they need to be with their parents to come in Europe and stuff like that. There's a lot of limitation, but it's a good thing. South America used to be the holy grail of football, at least in the 90s.
I remember stories of, refs might get their head cut off or something if they made a bad call.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
The American national team has a lot of talent. Like, I see their starting 11, Dest, Weston McKennie, Pulisic. They have decent players. Like, they can do something in the future. I'm glad they started to focus more on football in the last few years, where it's always basketball and baseball. Not baseball, football dominated.
Yeah, American. Yeah.
Now soccer is becoming something more for them, which is nice.
It's funny. I have an opinion. Klinsmann said almost 15 years ago, when he was the United States manager, he said that if United States wants to become a great national team in football, they need to put their best talent in Europe. They need to send them in Europe, because the MLS is never going to be so competitive for the relegation and promotion thing, And Americans are so rich and so knowledgeable in terms of football, in sport in general. If they really understand what football is, they can win it every 4 years, because there is a population of 300 million people. They have the money and they speak English. They can get all the knowledge they want from football. In 20 years, they can kill the gap they have, but they don't get the culture.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they love basketball. They love American football. So fair enough. You cannot change what they like.
I'm a weirdo here, and people don't.
Yeah, exactly. I'm imagining. You are like those guys here in Europe. They like maybe American football or basketball.
Yeah,
they are the weirdest here.
Like, the only person I think I've met in Colorado some guy down at the local sandwich shop, I saw him wearing a Napoli hat, so him and I had a good conversation about that. It's just nice, I don't support Napoli, but it's nice to be able to meet somebody that has that same sort of passion for something that's maybe far away but still close to your heart,
No, that's good. That's good. What about you? What do you do in Romania? Do you work? Do you study?
Well, I study. I live with my family here. I'm in year 2 of computer science.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I have two more years left, and then I finish.
What are you gonna do with your computer science? Sorry.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about it a lot because from next year we're gonna do the internship, and you're gonna start focusing on what you're gonna do exactly. It's a huge step. I always think about it, but
It's not a
yeah.
huge step, man. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Man, you have another 80 years. That's not even a step. That's just waking up in the morning and saying, okay, I'm going to do that. That's it. And after a week, you can change it again. That's not a huge step. Just do something you like and something that brings you close to things that you are interested in. Or something that makes money.
And you're never set in stone, man. You can always move around and stuff.
Two other things. Or you go like Donnarumma for the money, or you go for the club. There is not a lot to choose.
No, I mean it's a mix of both. Like I did it because it has a big future. You have many varieties, but also because I kind of have passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to get into medicine or any of that type of stuff. No way. So I focused on what I'm doing now. So I'm content. I'm happy about it.
Video games, man, is good.
Video games, exactly.
Video games. It's a good excuse. You can play video games and get paid as well and build them. I think you should go for video games.
Sorry?
Go for video games. Game industry is massive.
I mean, it's always good to go for everything, to try and get knowledge for every department. No one knows what's going to happen in the future. Maybe something's going to drop off, something's going to be more important. So having general knowledge about everything in IT is better for the future.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
That's good. But sounds good, man. Sounds good. Well, see you already are in Europe, and I'm sure you're gonna come in Europe and work for a big club. Joseph.
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, that's another thing that really upset me about the Super League is that if that's the way that, and the thing that I feared is that if you segment sort of your own sort of league, all the advertisers will go there, the smaller clubs will dry up. Then you don't have an ability to say, I could go to, I don't know, Augsburg in Germany and perform well. And if I build that team up, then I could actually.
Yeah. No. Makes sense. And what do you think about Bielsa? He's a lot about data and studying the opposition.
I haven't done too much research into him, but I will now if that's the case.
There is a thing.
Bielsa is a genius of a coach.
He's at Leeds, right?
He managed to overperform the season with the Leeds team. That shouldn't be in 10th. They should be 13th, 14th, but he bought young talents. Someone like Rafinha, who's been mentioned a lot in the chat. He got Patrick Bamford, striker, who was very bad for most of his career, and now
nobody believed in him, right?
Yeah, he scored like 17 goals in the Premier League. He doesn't play defensive. He goes all out. In a game he concedes 5-4. In another game he scores 5-4. You know, and that's how you stay up in the Premier League. You don't get afraid. You play exciting football. I love watching Leeds play football in the Premier League. I watch many of their games.
I'll have to check them out, man, if they're that good. Yeah.
Now Bielsa, there is a anecdote that he played against Barcelona and against Guardiola, I think, and he lost like 5-0, and Guardiola said, "Oh my God, that was an incredible game. You put us in a lot of difficulty of." Defensively, and Bielsa said, "Listen, look at that. That's the book of how much I study your game and your team." And Guardiola said, "Man, you know more things about my club than my team than I know. All the data he had and all the information he had. Of course, data you can learn all the data in the world, but on the other side there is Messi, Iniesta, like Xavi. They're gonna invent something that is not in those data anymore." So it's something new. So football is about 50-50 data. But if you don't have the money and your resources are limited, data is going to save you.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
like
thing.
Moneyball, you spend low.
Exactly.
That's why I like the youth project. I feel like there's always a potential for, if you buy like Salamakers at $3 million, even if he didn't do as well this season, if we still made it to the same spot in Champions League, his price still would have gone up even if he didn't perform as well. So there's that room to grow and expand on your assets. So
no, it's really interesting, man. I'm quite jealous you're studying that. It's quite interesting. It's super cool. And
well, I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys know where we are. We are on YouTube, and you can find us. And I'm gonna close this podcast. And thank you, guys. And as I said, today was a good day for AC Milan. We got rid of a problem, and we have another goalkeeper. And hopefully, we're gonna close out all our deals before the Euro starts. And I'm quite happy none of our big players are going to Europe to play the Euros, because every time they go, maybe they play well and the agent comes over and say, oh, I want 6 million, not 4, because my player is good. So it's better if they don't go at the moment. We need to keep all of them for the next season now. Oh, that's great. And well, yeah, let's see you guys next episode. And yeah,
Thanks for having us on.
Milan.
Forza Milan.
Always.
Thank you, guys. Ciao.